again, and he's brought down by 3 or 4.
Pass out to the left-hand flat, and Kate Cote did a perfect job of timing it, just kind of hiding within the lineman, and then at the last second just popped out. Maddie Lou will call our quarterback. I know that's what they call him at Terry Fox. So Maddie Lou did a nice job of getting good drop back and getting the ball out to Kate Cote. First down for the Terry Fox Ravens.
Maddie Lou will work out of the shotgun. Cote to his left. And he's got it back to his right as well, and he'll hand off to that back. And pretty good block at the corner attack. There's a flag coming in as this one's going to go downfield here for Kumarasamy. But I think it's going to come back here. So we'll have to check the penalty flag back at the 50-yard line. But again, good blocking up front there from Terry Fox to spring Kumarasamy.
Yeah, and you know, whenever you have a play that kind of bounces to the outside, referees are always on top of that and making sure that they're watching the end men on the line of scrimmage to see if they're holding or not. And sure enough, they got a holding call there, unfortunately, for the Terry Fox Ravens. Is again, great run by Liam to the outside. And what St. Thomas More right now is playing a very physical kind of attacking defense. They're playing all their linebackers up front. Their DBs are within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, so anything that busts through the initial line of scrimmage
is going to go for a big one.
Exactly, which is what happened on the very first play of the game. So let's see if St. Thomas More continues to be in that pressure-type defense.
Oh, with that running attack, little sugar, little spice with Kumarasamy and Kate Cote. One will give you the power game, the other the speed. This is a quarterback keeper here for Lou, and he'll pick up 5 on first down.
A little bit of a new wrinkle for the Terry Fox Ravens to come out in a trips formation. 3 receivers to one side, 1 receiver to the outside, trying to spread that St. Thomas More defense out a little bit. And again, with the athleticism of Matty Lou, just faking an inside zone play and him taking off with the ball for a good gain on first down.
I'm a little confused why that wasn't 1st and 20 after that penalty call, but they kept it 1st and 10 and just replayed the down.
It could have been from the spot of the foul, right?
And it was a 5-yard gain. Here's a little pitch inside and close to first down yardage. Might be a half yard or so short after another tough run up inside. That time Jaden Severy, who can carry the rock as well. They predominantly used him at the wideout position, but a wealth of riches out of the backfield here for Terry Fox.
Knowing Jaden for a lot of years, a tremendous athlete, great track and field athlete, and you know, he's a very special football player, not only on the football field but also on the track as well.
He'll split to this near side, short side of the field here on a 3rd and short. And it's a handoff to Cote. He's got the first down easily and just tripped up before he broke through. 54 in on the tackle. Kashawn Carter.
Just an inside dive play again. They're going back to their power formation where they have 3 running backs and just running over their big man, Badage over the left tackle with 2 lead blockers and getting the ball to the tailback for sufficient yardage for the first down, bringing up first down and 10 from the 45-yard line of the Knights.
Indeed, left hash mark here as they go 3 in the backfield once again. And Lou Hendrickson, hard count, nobody jumped, handed off. It's Kumarasamy, and not much there, maybe a yard. Yeah, it's pretty good tackle there by the Knights. There was 3 of them on the scene.
Yeah, the Knights have definitely prepared for this formation, so they see that Terry Fox is running with their full house backfield, 3 running backs. So they've got 9 men up on the line of scrimmage. So the defensive line, the linebackers, and the safety has moved right up to play cover 0, basically, or cover 1, covering the tight end, but they are definitely designing that defense to stop the run.
You can just see the size difference there between the two guards and tackles against that four-man front of the Knights. Here's Cote. Again, another powerful run up inside as he goes off of right tackle for about 3. And I'll bring up a 3rd and close to 6 here from the, well, let's call it 5 from the 40-yard line.
Good job by Coach McDonald, head coach of the Terry Fox Raven, who is also the head coach of mixing it up a little bit. Full house backfield, then he comes back to a trips formation, then he comes back to a doubles 2x2 formation. So just kind of seeing how the Knights adjust to every different formation that they have, coming back out with the trips formation on 3rd down.
Out of the shotgun, quick snap, play action, roll it out, look downfield, load it up, fire it down there, single man coverage, and bumped off the ball. No flags coming in. Pretty good non-call there. Simone on the coverage did the job.
Very good non-call. So the Terry Fox Ravens using Matty Lou's athleticism, just a straight drop back and then kind of sprints out. We used to call that a dash play, and the wide receiver on that play just running a straight streak, and great coverage by Simone on that play, and going to bring up a punting situation for the Terry Fox Ravens. So good job by the St. Thomas More Knights to tighten up and hold and put the Terry Fox Ravens into a punting situation.
Dawson Hodge back to kick as he stands just inside the 50, and he'll punt it from the 45. End over end kick. It's a high one. Simone waits for it. Takes a friendly Fox bounce, trickling all the way down towards the goal line, and he cannot do it any better. For Dawson Hodge, he puts it in the coffin corner.
Absolutely,
and STM will have brutal field position to start this next drive.
Absolutely perfect punt. And a couple of scores from today. I was at the Mount Doug Carson Graham game today. Very entertaining game, well played game. Mount Doug came out on top of that game 32-27. We just saw
Notre Dame put a whooping on Hansworth.
So
52-6 or something like that. It was a lot to not many.
Right. So, folks, send us some scores. You can send it on my Twitter account or Instagram, or text me. Let me know what the scores were out there in your game today.
Absolutely. You can, give out your Twitter handle if you're going to do it.
No, Jay Prep Check. It's pretty simple.
Okay.
All my tags are pretty simple.
And you can find me at
There's no PX.
PXP for Sports is where you can find it. It's all about branding, Jay Prep Check.
I love it.
Here's a big play off the first snap here, and it looks like it's going to go the distance for Simone. Cote trying to run him down from behind, and he's going to get tackled down at the 2-yard line. Simone just went about 96 yards, need to go 97 for pay dirt, but the hustle from the Ravens will track him down from behind. And now we'll see if the Knights can punch it in here from the 1-yard line.
Well, there's the speed of Jaden Severy and the effort by Jaden Severy to catch up on Michael Simone. But just a simple hitch pass out to the outside. Wide receivers that are watching this game, notice the great blocking downfield, just a quick hitter, quick pass, and Simone using his outstanding speed running down the left sideline. And I certainly thought he was going to score, but Cote and Severy.
Cote kind of came out of nowhere.
Absolutely.
To pass about 3 Ravens. That altered the path of Simone, which allowed Severy to get there. And we'll get a timeout here for Terry Fox, as I think they want to give their defense a chance to catch their wind. After chasing number 1 down the football field about 95 yards, they'll actually spot this one down on the 2-yard line here for STM, who trail this game 7-0, but look to tie things up and in good shape to do that after a monster play from Simone.
Absolutely, and you can smart call by Coach Kadaba, the co-head coach of the Terry Fox Ravens, who is the defensive coordinator, just to kind of settle things down. He knows that Cote, Severy, some of those guys that are playing both ways for him have, just basically sprinted the length of the football field to stop Simone on that little hitch screen. So good job by Tom Kadaba just to kind of settle things down a little bit and make sure that he's got the right personnel out there for a goal line situation.
That's one of those ones where I get tired just watching Jay Prep.
Absolutely. It's great to see these young athletes out there that
I might have pulled a hammy watching that as well.
Exactly. Where's the ice tub?
There you go. Yeah. So they'll go from the left hash mark here as Saccone will lead him out in the shotgun. Mark Aboud, deep man in the backfield as they go with 3 receivers. Tight end in there as well. They'll hand it off. And again, Fox penetrates quickly and drives that one back for a loss. And that's why when I saw Simone get tackled down at the 2, I thought, man, is this going to be a missed opportunity here for STM? That's only first down, mind you, but that could be a touchdown-saving tackle. Well, it was, but let's see if they can keep him out of the end zone now after making that touchdown-saving tackle.
Absolutely, especially since that Terry Fox Ravens defensive line is so big and so physical. And when you play an offensive formation with only one running back and don't have a lead blocker to go through there, it's very difficult to gain yardage near the goal line.
They empty the backfield this time and go with 5 receivers. Fox showing blitz here coming off this near edge. They'll move a man across the formation. They'll hand it off to him. And looking for the pylon. Not sure he got it. No signal from the official yet. And I think they're going to spot him out just shy of the goal line here.
Open set again, trying to spread out the Terry Fox Ravens. Good call by the Knights on that particular play.
Ricky Parsons for the second time, same play.
Yeah, exactly, trying that jet sweep. So look for St. Thomas More, even though they only have less than a yard to go here. Look for them to try to get the ball to their quarterback, their outstanding athlete, Darius Ciccone. Maybe fake that jet sweep and have Dario run up the middle. Let's see if they can run a little bit of play action here or a little bit of counter action to offset that defense.
Quarterback coach Jay Prepchuk calling for the quarterback draw here. Shocking
surprise
development up here in the broadcast booth. Let's see how it plays out on 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Again, empty backfield. Parsons is in the slot. He'll come across once again. They fake it. It is a handoff, or excuse me, a quarterback keeper. Well called and well designed there by the Knights, and touchdown STM. You nailed it, Jay Prepchuk.
There you go, hey.
Almost like you know what you're talking about.
Well, I tell you, you get to know some of these athletes, and you know the experience of Darius Ciccone. And, when teams really, really need a score, when they really need a big play, you got to go to your veteran guys, right? And Dario has certainly been a big part of this St. Thomas More Night football program for the past 4 years. And, why not get the ball to one of your best football players?
Now to kick here, Kamuzi, but it would have been, good for STM there, because that would have been really demoralizing for them to get all the way down the field in one huge play and then not be able to punch it into the end zone. But they do get it there, and Kamuzi will kick it up and through, and we are tied. 7 up here at Burnaby Lake Sports Complex between the Ravens and Knights. 3:39 here to go in this opening quarter of the BC High School Football Game of the Week on bchighschoolfootball.com.
Yeah, and as we talked about, a great time to be a football fan, that's for sure. We've got the UBC Thunderbirds hosting the University of Alberta tomorrow at Thunderbird Stadium. It's going to be a beautiful day for football out there, 1 o'clock kickoff. So
can't beat that.
If you're looking for a football game to get to, come on out to UBC.
And then just make that short drive from UBC out to Langley. Just whip on out there.
Exactly. We're trying to get the timing because the Rams game starts at 4 o'clock. Is that correct?
They take on the Vancouver Island Raiders in the semifinal.
Right. I'm already trying to plan that route out to get there. It actually took me from the North Shore tonight about an hour and a half to get here. With the usual North Shore traffic.
That's a Friday. That's rush hour. Saturday shouldn't be too bad.
Exactly. So, again, UBC Thunderbirds playing tomorrow. SFU at Central Washington tomorrow night in a battle. And then the junior playoffs this weekend again. Chilliwack visiting the Okanagan Sun on Sunday at the Apple Bowl in Kelowna.
Yes,
another
indeed.
Beautiful venue.
Watch out for that. It's a bit of a sleeper game. I really think Valley is going to give the Sun all they can handle on that Sunday afternoon.
You can throw the ball and like Chilliwack can, and it's going to be a nice day up there. You never know what can happen.
Here's the kickoff to Shewan. He had a big 50-yard return on his first touch. Looks for the same angle on his second. He's got something cooking again across the 50. Slows up on the 45 and dropped down at the 40-yard line. Lost the football. And I think he recovered regardless, as they'll give the Ravens possession at the 40-yard line. Another 50-yard return here for Shewan, as that one came from the 10.
I tell you, that's just an outstanding job by the Terry Fox Ravens kickoff return team. deep kickoffs every time by the Knights. And one thing that Ethan Schuin did a great job of there is he kind of faked like he was going to run up the middle, and then he cut out back to the left-hand side for another big return, about 5 yards more than the first return to start the football game. So great job by Ethan Schuin.
You know you're a player when they list 3 different positions down on the roster for you.
Right.
And that's Hendrickson as he hands off to Cote. He's around the edge. Flag comes in late.
Yeah,
that's one of those flags there, Jay Prepchuk, where I don't even think you needed the block at that point for Cote, who was already well past where the flag came in.
Yeah, and I mean, do you need the block? Not necessarily, but do you need the call as well, right? I mean, clearly the running back had passed the defensive back, and I don't think it was an obvious holding call on that particular play, but the ref saw differently, and it's unfortunate for the Terry Fox Ravens as they're going to come back after a good gain on the play on that outside sweep play.
2 real big plays for the Ravens called back so far in this opening quarter, both on holding calls. So spot that one. We'll take it back to midfield here, I believe. So they're going to say 5-yard penalty.
Might be from the spot of the foul on that particular play. So
indeed.
Again, the Terry Fox Ravens getting into another long yardage situation, but they're going to be patient with this offense. They know that they can kind of chip away and just kind of work away on that Knights defense and continue to, run their power running game and over their left side of their offensive line, which is, again, very strong. Matthew Badage, who is one of the most outstanding linemen in the province. And again, at 6'7", 325 pounds, he, I know.
That's NFL size.
That's NFL size. And I tell you, he's got great feet, and he's got a great coach in Tom Kadaba, a longtime CFL offensive line great Tom Kadaba that is the offensive line coach for the Terry Fox Ravens. So I know that Matthew has been talking to many different schools, even in the United States, have talked to Matthew about, a future place to play. I know the UBC Thunderbirds are as well very interested in Matthew. He's got lots of football left in him after his high school season.
And that was Kate Cote that was down, walks off under his own power. He'll grab a water bottle, and I think he'll be back in after a play or two here for the Ravens. But it's really a coaching by committee here for Terry Fox. Is this a handoff for Ethan Schuin up the middle? But you mentioned Tom Kadaba and then Martin McDonald, who handles the offensive side of things for Terry Fox, and it's a real good relationship between the two. They just kind of focus on their own jobs, and it works for them here for Terry Fox as co-head coaches.
Yeah, exactly. And, they're both teachers. I know Tom is retired now, but, both being teachers, they know how to work with the kids. They know how to motivate the kids. And, again, knowing Martin and Tom for many, many years, very organized football coaches and very passionate about the game.
Well, a man after my own heart, printing out nice big font for me here for the rosters as well, which I absolutely love.
Exactly. And, there's Ethan Schuin again with another playoff tackle. And you put Ethan Schuin in there, and even though he's maybe not as big as Cote, he certainly runs
with some purpose.
He really does. He's a low runner, and he's a very powerful running back. So, again, they don't lose a lot when Ethan Schuin goes in there.
They get the chain set after the play had been snapped. Chain gang got to pick it up a little bit as the Ravens picked up a first down. And they're a little late on the scoreboard as well. But quick tempo offense here for the Ravens has them on the move. Ball down to the, 20-yard line, 25-yard line here of STM as they go looking for their second score of the game, with the clock running in this first quarter down to 2 minutes as the Ravens break the huddle. Still Schuin in the backfield. Now what do we got? I think timeout STM, as maybe they're a little winded after a long drive here at Terry Fox and decide to use up a timeout in this first quarter.
Yeah, a good call by St. Thomas More Knights to call timeout here. And, that's kind of what the Terry Fox Ravens do, right? They kind of grind it out. They just play smash mouth football, and easy for me to say. And they just kind of work. They kind of wear you down after a while, and that's exactly what's happening right now. So, again, they're they're executing their game plan. They're doing exactly, what they game plan to do. And Coach McDonald, again, he doesn't hide anything. He knows that when he puts his 3 running backs in there, he's just gonna run the football right at you, and that's exactly what they're doing. And I know Coach Delazari said, that he was very concerned about the power and the strength of the Terry Fox Ravens.
So it's 2nd and 5 here as they snap it quickly again. It's Shewan as he tucks it in the right arm, but better defense that time by the Knights. Ricky Parsons in on the tackle, stops him for virtually no gain. And do we have a flag on the play here as well? We do. I'm not sure where it flew in from, Jay Prepchuk, and nobody really getting together to talk about it here.
Yeah, we can see the head referee is over with the St. Thomas More coaching staff right now, kind of discussing the situation, and let's see what they come up with. Maybe no call. Oh, a bench, maybe a bench warning. So what happens is the coaches are supposed to stay within a certain area. So what's happened now is that the St. Thomas More Knight coaches just got a little bit frisky, got a little bit aggressive there, and
oh, look out, fumbled snap. Hendrickson got it back, but he's tackled down quickly. Daniel Auld will wrap up.
Maybe showing a little bit of inexperience from Matty Lou there, getting that shotgun snap. And
they literally never call that coach's bench penalty. You know, I mean, they give you a warning.
Well, they called it on me once, so I remember that. So I have to disagree. It was many years ago that. Actually, no, I got a lot of warnings.
I can see if you're coming out onto the field and
right.
If you're just patrolling and pacing up and down the sideline. I mean, as they put 54 in the slot here, they snap it quickly again. It's Severy on a cut. On a 4th down play, and he did not get there. No. STM will hold.
It's going to be close, I think.
On 4th down, let's check the spot here as I might have jumped the gun. Tough to tell from our angle here, and it is going to be very, very close. You may get a measurement here.
Yeah, I think they're going to bring up.
All right, Jay Prepchuk.
Yeah, let's see. Big part of the game right now.
I don't know where you're at for your prediction so far this year. I think you're 0 for 2. I'm going to give you a 3rd chance here. Call it right now, first down or not.
I think they have got the first down on this particular play.
Okay, just for the sake of our audience, I will say they are short. By the nose of the football here.
Depends on who's on the sticks. Is that St. Thomas More? St. Thomas More group is out there.
Halfway across the line here.
Oh, it is close. Okay, head referee Lee Bryan is telling us that it is a first down, but just barely.
I did not.
Okay, I'm on the score sheet.
I'm going to say, sure, first down, but the way they put they put the front marker chain down before they put the back marker chain.
Are you complaining just because you were wrong?
I don't know if that is proper chain technique is what I'm saying.
Hey, leave the chain gang alone. They're just some happy volunteers out here on a Friday night just trying to earn some credits.
Cade Cote back into the game, and he'll take a slow handoff there, and that play was never going to be successful. Just took too long to develop. And Cote was wrapped up quickly, and he gets up slow and gets up unhappy after that play call.
And that's a little bit, a little bit away from their game plan for Fox. You know, they, again, like to run right at football teams. It's kind of an outside zone play on that particular play, and a little bit more difficult to block, especially when a defense is slanting, or especially when a defense is blitzing a lot, which is St. Thomas More Knights have started to do once the ball is now getting into their territory.
But a loss of 4 on that first down play, so 2nd and long here. Option read again. It's Severy slicing and dicing. And maybe close back to the original line of scrimmage. Give him about 4. And it'll be a 3rd and 10 here for the Ravens in this 7-7 game. But 12 minutes in the books here from Burnaby Lake. Jay Prepchuk, and a good one going as we thought it might be. STM, Terry Fox, tied up at 7 after 1 quarter of play.
Absolutely, just exactly what we thought was going to be happening. Really impressed with the coaching staffs on both teams, well prepared for this football game. And again, really a great job by the special teams coaches by both football teams, setting up and running and executing some excellent kickoff returns when they got the kickoff returns and putting their teams in good position. So again, it's been a great game so far, and looking forward to 3 quarters of continued hard, real hard football and well-coached football teams that are just out there having fun on a Friday night. Friday Night Lights is what it's all about, right?
You betcha, Jay Prepchuk, as the two teams will flip around here to start quarter number 2. And really now is the time of the year, Jay Prepchuk, when you want your team to start playing its best football, start ramping up towards BC Place here. So when you get into the playoffs, all cylinders are clicking and you can try and make your way to that Subway Bowl. So this is a real pivotal game for these two teams. I mentioned both coming in with just the one loss, both those losses at the hands of Lord Tweedsmuir. STM goes to Kelowna next week. You think they should be able to get by the Owls. And then you got Terry Fox and the Panthers from Abbotsford. Those two teams played very early in the year, and it went Terry Fox's way in pretty convincing fashion. So you would think victory for both these teams next week. So really, if you want to keep that roll going, you got to get the win here tonight as Matthew Lou Hendrickson on the quarterback keeper.
Yeah, Matty Lou does a good job of not forcing the ball downfield in a throwing situation, scrambles to gain 5 yards and putting up it looks like it's going to be it's going to be a 4th and 5 right now for Terry Fox. So really the first big decision to be made by the coaching staffs here, and Martin McDonald going for this one. Look for to get Matty Lou again the ball, maybe on a rollout
I asked Coach
situation.
McDonald about his kicking game last night on a phone call, and he said, no, if we're in range, we'll line it up for a field goal. I think old coach was pulling my leg as they go for it here on a 4th and 5, well within field goal range. It's a fake. It's play action. It's Hendrickson looking. Cote's open. Oh, he's wide open if they can get the ball to Cote.
He's short.
And I think Hendrickson out of bounds. I think he might be a yard short. Man, oh man, if Matty Lou could have ever picked up number 10 out in the flat, he had nobody in front of him for 20 yards.
He really was wide open, and that's a good coaching point for quarterbacks. That, when you are scrambling like that, you've got to keep your eyes focused down the field, and you've got to continue to look for receivers. Don't just look for a running lane. You've got to look for a receiver to try to throw the ball to. And
I'm going to put a little bit of that on Cote as well, who didn't really break out the way he should have, as the play design was to go to the other side of the field. But on the improvisation from Matty Lou, Cote didn't really put an arm up, didn't bark for the ball, even though he was wide open. So I think that's just a little bit of a lack of communication by both guys there. Recognition and communication by Cote and Lou. But it is a turnover on downs. And here's Ciccone out of the shotgun. Quick out to Simone. And up that far sideline. Tackle down. Touchdown saving tackle out on the edge there. I think that might have been Lou Hendrickson on the defensive side of the football making that play on Simone, but they've gone to that quick wide receiver bubble screen, and, well, not really a bubble screen, just a quick out to the wide receiver. And that play has worked a couple of times for STM now.
Yep, kind of a flanker screen out there. And the key to that play is that the two other receivers out to that side are doing an excellent job of blocking and maintaining their blocks. Because, of course, the ball has to get out there. So they're maintaining their blocks, and that's just desire and hard work by the St. Thomas More Knights receivers. Excellent job picking up a first down.
Good strong arm from Ciccone to get the ball out there quickly and on target as well. I know the quarterback coach, Jay Prepchuk, appreciates that. Empty backfield, Ciccone to throw over the middle, and that's just a drop. Ricky Parsons had it in the midst and let it fall to the turf. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, nice job by Darius Ciccone of just getting the ball, taking a quick one-step drop, things that we've worked on for many years actually with Dario, so it's great to see him throwing the ball with such great efficiency tonight. Definitely a ball that could have been caught. Look for St. Thomas More sometime in this game to run a little bit of a pump fake, to pump to one of those wide receivers and have the other receiver running up the sideline on a kind of a pump screen play.
Mark Aboud checking into the game here. He'll stand to the left of Ciccone. Long count here for the Knights quarterback. Now he sends Parson across. He'll give him the handoff, tried to cut it back up, and didn't really string that play out, I think, the way it was designed, and tried to go up into the interior of that Ravens defense, and that is the strength of this Terry Fox team. And there's not going to be much running room up in there all night long.
That's right, and Michael Evans, a name that we haven't really called tonight, but a strong two-way lineman for the Terry Fox Ravens. It's 6'2", 230 pounds, another individual that has a lot of football left in him after high school. A great football player. I know that a lot of universities are already taking a look at Michael Evans, and running that jet sweep to his side does not fool Michael Evans. Does a great job of containing for no yards.
Coming into this game with 24 tackles and 3 sacks for Evans, that leads the Fox defense. As it's a 3rd and 10 now for the Knights. Got to get to the 40-yard line. And Ciccone to throw on a rollout. Delivers the football. Turn it upfield. First down. Let's check the spot. Reached ahead with the football. And I think, where are they going to mark him out here? Right at the 40. And that'll be good to move the sticks. That's good recognition there to know where you got to get to for the first down.
And that is the difference, right on the number, yeah. Matty Lou for the Fox Ravens there was 1 yard short for the first down, and then we got Michael Simone. Now Simone does a great job of turning that ball, catching that ball, and as soon as he catches it on the breakout, turning it upfield and gaining positive yards. Once he caught the ball, I thought he was just going to get tackled for a 5-yard gain, but he turned it up and did a great job of getting that first down.
Fresh set here for the Knights. Same formation. As Fox loads the Bucks up with 7. Now let's see if they bring the heat here. Parsons across. He'll take the jet sweep again as they look for a block on the edge. Parsons across the 50 and out of bounds. Good gain on first down. Pick up 5. And that's really a play, I think, STM recognizing early here, Jay Prepchuk. They're not going to get inside on this Ravens defense, so let's try and string them out a little bit and use our speed against the size of Terry Fox.
That's right, and on that particular play, again, running right at Michael Evans, the outstanding defensive end for the Terry Fox Ravens, but the left tackle...
By the way, how about the cleats on Evans down there?
Yeah,
they go well with your pink sweatshirt you're wearing tonight.
They look great, don't they? I like those.
Shiny. So, 2nd and 5 now. Cote on the edge here. He's looking into the Knights backfield. Play action, slant, Simone. I think maybe heard a couple of footsteps there. Usually the sure-handed wide receiver makes that catch, but let it fall off the fingertips incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Nice job by Darius Ciccone, the quarterback there, running a play that is a very popular play now in the pro ranks, the college ranks, and of course high school players are starting to run at the kind of an RPO, run-pass option. So jet sweep motion across the formation. All Dario's doing is reading that outside linebacker, and if that outside linebacker goes with the motion, he's going to throw that slant. Great job by Dario to put that ball on the money.
Well, let's see if they can convert here from the midfield stripe on a 3rd and 5. 9:43 to go here to halftime in a 7-7 game. Empty backfield, 5 receivers in there for STM.
Watch for the quick hitch here.
And Fox brings pressure up the middle. Quick pass complete to Parsons and wrapped up. But not after a 15-yard gain there for STM as they move the chains to the 40-yard line of Terry Fox.
A nice job by Ciccone of reading the defense there. Terry Fox came out in a cover 0 there, meaning all of their defensive backs were covering receivers. So
that doesn't sound like a defense that would work cover 0, but it is actually a very good defense to run.
Well, usually when you're blitzing, that's the defense to run. But it wasn't a real pressure cover 0. So the DBs were still playing about 7 to 8 yards off, and that's why Ciccone was able to hit that slant pass and put that ball right on the money, bringing up a first down for the St. Thomas More Knights.
Clock moving here down to 9:15. And the ball moving into Terry Fox territory here from the 40-yard line. Tight formation this time for the Knights. Ciccone will roll to his right, looks downfield, guns one to the far sideline, and just out of the reach of Rapole as they target number 11 for the first time here tonight. But that's a tough throw for a quarterback on the run, moving towards the sideline with a man coming across the field like that and just out of the reach of Rapole.
That's right, and Rapole, I'm surprised that we haven't heard his name tonight because he is a leading receiver on this football team, and just a straight sprint out using Darius Ciccone's athleticism to get to the outside. Nice job by the offensive line to block that up and get Dario to the outside. Just kind of flooded that area to try to open up a receiver.
Rapole with 16 catches for almost 340 yards to go along with 3 touchdowns so far this year. But hasn't got one yet tonight, as here comes Parsons across once again and take the handoff. But again, Terry Fox quick off the blocks and make the tackle on the backfield. That will lose about 5.
Yeah, running the jet sweep again, and that time, the outstanding player, Michael Evans, did a nice job of not getting reached and made a great play to stop that jet sweep.
So I want to ask you, Jay Prepchuk, if Terry Fox starts to recognize that jet sweep, what's the counter for that play to get a better look downfield if you're STM? How do you get Terry Fox to bite on the jet sweep, and then do you look back to the other side?
They'll run two things. They'll run that RPO, which they ran a few plays ago, where they fake the jet sweep and hit the slant, or they'll run the play that scored the touchdown with Dario, faking the jet sweep, and the quarterback, Darius Ciccone, taking the ball up the middle.
Well, they're staring at a 3rd and 13 after that 3-yard loss.
Look for the sprint out here.
They'll drop straight back. Here comes the rollout. Here comes the pressure. Ciccone still on his feet and then taken down from behind. Jaden Severy into the backfield, and good pursuit. Might have got a couple of yards back, but it's going to be a 4th and long here for STM around the 42-yard line, and now another decision here for Steve De Lazari.
That's right. A great job by great pressure in there. Liam Kumasamri. I'll be close
it's a
there.
Toughie. It's a tough one. I'm not going to lie to you.
Good job by Liam. He's one of the defensive leaders out there for the Terry Fox Ravens. Did a nice job of getting into the backfield and pressuring Ciccone on that play.
I think I might have had Severy and Kumarasamy numbers mixed up, 20 and 23. My apologies, and they will punt this ball. I thought I heard a whistle before the kick, but a spiraling kick to the far sideline, and this looks like another good kick, this time by the STM kicker, Kamuzi. We saw a beautiful kick from Terry Fox earlier, pinning STM deep before that huge play downfield. This time, Kamuzi does the job, and Terry Fox will start deep in their zone from their own 10-yard line.
Yeah, again, very impressed with the special teams of both these teams. Again, oftentimes special teams are overlooked, especially at the high school level. And if you've got some if you've got a good kicker out there, that really is an advantage for you, especially, again, once you get into BC Place.
And we talked about it a number of times in the Game of the Week, Jay, that really the amount of time that's spent on special teams for these coaches, as here's a first down run for Cote. He'll be wrapped up after a minimal gain. That they don't spend a lot of time on punting or field goal kicking. The most of the time that they spend on their special teams is for kick coverage.
Exactly, and that's it's difficult to get all of the things that you have to get into as a coach, right? And oftentimes, like I said, special teams are overlooked. I know that out at UBC, Paul Orzetti, our special teams coordinator, does an outstanding job, and it's really given us an advantage at UBC to have an experienced and great special teams coach like Paul Orzetti.
It was about a 1.5 yard gain from Cote. This time, Leo Hendrickson will keep it himself, and he's wrapped up quickly again. And seems like this STM defense since the start of the game is starting to get stronger and stronger here, Jay Prepchuk, as the first half has moved along here. Fox is able to bust off a couple of big runs early in this game, but they've really limited them here in this second quarter.
Very impressed with the adjustments that St. Thomas More have done on the defensive side of the football. Very physical, very kind of their trademark, very physical, very kind of swarming defense. You'll notice that on every tackle, they've got 6-7 football players in there helping out to bring down the Terry Fox running backs.
We'll give him about a 2-yard gain. Call it 3rd and 6 here for Terry Fox. Got to get to the 20 for a first down. Ball on the 14. There's the handoff, and a little malfunction in the backfield there. Cote is going to go backwards as Evans kind of got in his way as he got blown up on a block, and that one goes backwards. And Terry Fox is going to have to punt away here deep in their own zone, and STM should get excellent field position here off of this kick as they'll try and take the lead late in this second half.
That's right. Again, great job by that defense not being fooled. And difficult for Terry Fox because the way they play their offense, they kind of grind it out, and if they don't gain yards on first and second down, if they're in 3rd and long situations, that's not an advantage to them.
Simone recognizing nobody is covering the wideout man here, and I don't know if they're going to fake from this area, but now there's nobody back to receive the kick. So this is just more or less a free ball here for Terry Fox, and it'll be a pretty short kick that'll die around the 47, around the 42-yard line, excuse me. So STM will set up shop inside Fox territory, but almost a malfunction there. Yeah. That was good recognition from Simone to realize that there was nobody covering that guy. And that's, you got to sacrifice the return in case of the fake. Although it's coming from the own 10-yard line, you're probably not going to fake in that area. But if you don't cover that guy, he's got a free walk for a first down. Absolutely. You never know, if that could be an automatic for a punt team that, if the punter is able to throw the ball. Yeah. Exactly. So Simone, does an outstanding job of finding, seeing what's happening. It looks like there might be a roughing the kicker, running into the kicker penalty on this particular play. Let's see what flag is all the way back at the goal our head official Lee comes up with. Remember now, I think it was a running into the kicker, and because it was, I think, about a third or a fourth down at about 9, they'll just decline that and take the field position here. And it's interesting. I think if, at higher levels, you probably would have seen them re-kick that ball, but so many bad things can happen on a high school punt team that I think you just take what you got out of that punt and move along here. Exactly. Anytime you can start a drive on the other team's 43-yard line, you're going to take advantage of that, right? And that's excellent field position right now for the St. Thomas More Knights. 4:46 to go to halftime. Let's see if Dario comes up with a little pump fake here to one of these wide receivers on that flanker screen. 5 in there with an empty backfield for Saccone. And he'll 3-step drop it, look deep over the middle, and Parsons trying to catch up to it. Couldn't quite get there. It was Severy on the coverage. Yeah, but they go looking for the home run on first down, but it falls incomplete. Yeah, Dario is not happy with that throw right now. You can see him coming to the sidelines and shrugging his shoulders, saying that was the shot that I really should have capitalized on there. It looked like there was a little bit of confusion. You could see the DBs for the Terry Fox Ravens talking about it. They were playing man-to-man to the right-hand side of the offense, and on the left-hand side, looks like they were playing zone, so they weren't able to pick up that inside seam by that slot back, and very fortunate not to have a big play against them. And as a quarterback, your coach only going to let you dial up those deep balls every so often during a game, and you want to make the most of those opportunities, so he calls them more often for you. But that one falls incomplete at 2nd and 10. See the safety moving over now, that's for sure. Cote is the deep man. Little sling out to Simone once again. As they really keep going back to the well on a couple of plays here, and why wouldn't you? Because they're working here for the Knights. Exactly. Very high percentage football plays. Just to, again, Dario, great job of just getting the ball, one short step, throwing the ball quickly out to the wide receiver. The 2 other receivers on that open set, that trips formation, that trip side, other 2 receivers just blocking the most dangerous defensive backs, and with the quickness of Simone, able to really transition and getting the ball up the field. They've been very, very effective plays, especially since the Terry Fox Ravens defensive backs are playing off and playing a little conservative right now. They don't want to get beat deep, but when you have an 8-yard cushion like that and the ball gets into a dangerous receiver's hands like Simone that quickly, then they can do some damage right away. 14 yards, that's a pretty good pickup for a little flanker screen. Yeah, I was about to say that, if Terry Fox wanted to get aggressive on that and maybe try and jump that route, they're going to have a pick 6, but it's a dangerous game to play. But if they can recognize that that's the play they're going to go to with Simone out on the edge and somebody wants to take a risk, they could be looking at an interception return for a touchdown, as we have a injured Raven down on the far sideline here. Yeah, can't quite pick up a number over there. Get a chance to talk a little bit about where high school football is these days. I know speaking with a lot of high school coaches and getting a chance to go to watch a lot of the football practices out there, one thing that the coaches I have noticed have really, really been stressing is the safety aspect of football. And just watching a game now, it's such a different game than it was even 3-4 years ago. And certainly players are much more protected while they're not leading with their head, certainly. And that's a result of coaches doing an excellent job. I know the high school coaches get trained every year and go to clinics and go to seminars to make sure that the safety of the game is really emphasized. And you can see that certainly I think the number of injuries have gone down
in high school football, and that's a result of coaches doing an excellent job and the BC High School executive doing a good job of setting up training sessions for the high school coaches.
That was Shewan that came off the field, but looks to be okay, and I'm sure he will return into this football game as well. It's a 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line, and it's Saccone to throw on first down. Looking. Pump fakes now, fires it. Parsons to catch, a spin move, lower the head, and drive the legs. Let's check the spot here. It'll be close to an 8-yard gain, it looks like, here for STM, who are moving towards the red zone and scoring position here for the Knights as the clock goes under 4 minutes.
Yeah, nice job by the quarterback, the experienced Darius Saccone, doing an excellent job of faking the jet sweep, rolling out to his right-hand side. Patience. Terry Fox did an excellent job of covering on that particular play, but then Dario was just able to dump the ball off to Ricky Parsons, who he initially faked the jet sweep to, and certainly was not a primary receiver on that play, but heads-up play by Parsons and by Saccone to pick up some pretty good yardage on first down, bringing up a 2nd and 2.
All work from the right hash mark here as they put in 5 receivers in that empty backfield here once again for Saccone. As the Fox defense shifts to the left a little bit, I'm not sure they're lined up properly here. Cote not quite happy with the free safety position as they go into the end zone. Parsons wide open. Touchdown, Knights. Oh, there was nobody within 5 yards, as I think it was Dorsey that was on the coverage.
And that's exactly what we talked about.
Check it. It was Lou Hendrickson that was on the coverage there for Terry Fox, and he just couldn't stay with Parsons.
Well, a nice job by the St. Thomas More Knights to do exactly what we talked about. They faked that hitch screen to one of the receivers. The other receivers took off down the sidelines. The cornerback for the Terry Fox Ravens bit. Safety couldn't get over top in time. Touchdown for St. Thomas More. Great patience by St. Thomas More. Good job of putting their plays together and having a formula and having an excellent plan to set that particular play up.
Good kick for Camuzzi. Puts it right over the fence once again. And puts STM up by a converted touchdown here, 14-7 now. As it was Fox that just took 2 plays, a kickoff return and then a 50-yard run to take the 7-0 lead. But since that time, Jay Premchuk, really STM has taken control of this football game. They've won the field position battle, and they've won the time of possession battle as well. They've really kind of kept the Fox defense on the field and kept their offense off the field and have manufactured 2 touchdowns from it, and now lead by 7 with 3 minutes to go to halftime.
Right, and one of the things that looking at the statistics that St. Thomas More Knights are really known for is that they don't give the ball away, right? They don't throw interceptions. Dario, has thrown 70 passes this year and only thrown 1 interception. 12 touchdowns to 1 interception is a pretty good ratio for his overall, including his exhibition games as well, right? So 1 interception, I know that they
that's impressive.
They don't fumble the football. They just play good, solid, fundamental football.
Sounds like a guy that's gone to the Jay Prepchuk quarterback camp.
Well, I tell you, it's a player like that is just an inspiration for myself as well. Just a guy that
well, you must get some pride and satisfaction out of seeing something like that.
Absolutely, and the thing is about a player like a Darius Saccone is just such a great kid, right? Comes back and helps me with my camps with the younger quarterbacks, and does a nice job with them, and just a really dedicated athlete that's passionate about the game of football. Great to see.
So from the 40-yard line, now leading 14-7, Camuzzi will tee it up, and they go with the onside kick. That's a live football. STM's got it. Oh, Fox was not ready for that. And Camuzzi couldn't do it any better. The little squibber right to himself took a nice Friday night hop right up into his hands, just across the 50-yard line, and STM gets the football right back.
Boy, again, that's a great scouting job by the St. Thomas More Knights. That front wall of the Terry Fox Raven on their kickoff return just really retreated out of there quickly. They knew that the football has been kicked very, very deep, so they want to set their wall a little deeper as well now,
they've
right?
been getting such good returns, too, that they thought, okay, let's do it again. And that is a great play call there from De Lazari to dial up an onside kick.
Great timing as well with just under 3 minutes left in the first half.
So they take the ball at the 50. And have a 1st and 10 as Lee Bryan comes in. Make sure the spot is where they want it, kind of looking down this near sideline here. And they want that chain stretched out a little bit.
Yeah, you can see the Terry Fox Ravens. Now, actually, Coach McDonald did mention that he was concerned about his defensive backfield.
Well, a score here for STM would really grasp the momentum for them heading into halftime. As Saccone to throw on 1st down over the middle. Parsons to catch. And as he splits coverage there of Kote and Kumarasamy and makes the catch for a good gain on 1st down.
Just a quick slant to the inside receiver. Dario doing a nice job of reading that defense. Kind of hit it between 2 linebackers, Kote and hitting between the middle linebacker and the outside linebacker, just finding that nice little seam in there, bringing up a 2nd and 4 situation.
Putting that on the spot, as they call it, Jay Prepchuk. 2nd and a long 3 here for the Knights. STM crowd, Fox crowd, imploring their troops. Saccone with that empty backfield. 4-man front for the Ravens. Here comes Simone across the line. He'll work into this near slot. And what do we got? Time count, I think.
Yeah.
As the flag comes flying. Good arm there from the back judge. Just taking a little too long, and I'm not sure if he was waiting for Simone to get it set on the line, but
right, that's unfortunate for the St. Thomas More Knights here. That's a very, very costly penalty exactly for them. And again, when you have a park like this, that's one of the first things we do when we go to a park. Is I always show the quarterbacks where the clocks are, right, where the shot clock is, where the huddle clock is, and no huddle clock at this. At 8 rinks out here, but again, they should be aware of the situation. That's right. Yep.
So they'll back him up 5 yards. It's 2nd and 9 now. They have 8, but it's much closer to 9 than it is 8 here for the Knights. 5 step drop here as they look for a screen. Here comes pressure. Look out. He'll be wrapped up and dropped all the way back at the 35-yard line. A massive sack there for the Ravens. Mike Evans in on the tackle, but there was a handful of Ravens in the backfield, as I think that was a designed screen setup that just never materialized, and Saccone couldn't get rid of the football.
Yeah, that was quite a bit of pressure. That flock of Ravens in there.
Oh, well done. Yeah,
waiting
you don't have to elbow me when you get a pun in there like that.
Flock of Ravens doing a good job of putting the pressure on Saccone, and even though he is excellent at escaping their pressure in the rush, he just couldn't get out of that. And again, when you have such an athletic defense, and those defensive ends, again mentioning Michael Evans and some of the other defensive ends, outside linebackers for the Terry Fox Ravens, those guys are, they're athletes. They're big kids, but they're also very, very difficult to outrun. And when you have a situation like that, the Terry Fox Ravens did an excellent job of closing down all the lanes for Saccone.
So they'll actually spot that ball on the 37-yard line, and they'll call it a 3rd and 24 here, Jay Prepchuk. Your head coach, Steve De Lazari, down there. What are you dialing up on 3rd and 24?
Be interesting to see what his philosophy is on this. A lot of coaches are just going to take the ball and just throw it deep right now, right, and see what happens. They could hope for, obviously, a completion or hope for a pass interference penalty.
Well, the other school of thought is maybe try and set up some sort of screen or a drop, delayed draw play and catch the defense, try and get some of that yardage back. But they got 5 receivers in there for Saccone, who can get it downfield with the best of them here in BC high school football. He'll step up in the pocket. Now he's going to run. He's across the 50. Still going to Saccone. Flag comes in. And unfortunately, that was a 1st down run there for STM, but I think this one's going to come back at the spot of the foul at the 49-yard line here of STM.
Yeah, very fortunate for the Terry Fox Ravens defense there to have that penalty against the Knights here. That was a big play by Saccone to get that 1st down, but it looks like it's going to come back after a possible holding call.
We'll put the ball down on the 50-yard line here.
Take it back 10 from there.
So it's still going to be about a 3rd and 20.
Here comes our head ref, Lee Bryan, giving us the call.
Also a lacrosse referee is Lee Bryan.
There
Very
you go.
good one, yep.
All
Top
right,
flight.
yeah, he is an excellent referee.
So after they move the ball back 10 yards from the spot of the foul, it's up to 40 now, and it'll be 3rd and 20 from there for the
So they will call it 3rd and 20. Got to get to the Ravens 40. Ball is on the STM 40. Big play here with 1:20 to go to halftime. Again, 5 receivers in for the Knights. Ciccone, that flanker screen. And gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Cote. As that was Julian Valerio on the reception. First time we've called his number tonight.
That's right, and I see that Valerio has done a good job rushing the football. So, with that open set, maybe again, as you mentioned earlier, they just felt that they just couldn't, match physically with the Terry Fox Ravens up front, and decided to play more of a 5 package and an open set and use their speed and the quick passing ability of Ciccone to move the football.
Well, it's going to be a little disappointing for STM to dial up that onside kick, get the recovery, and then get themselves in penalty trouble, then take a big sack, actually go backwards, and now we'll have to punt the ball away. If nothing else, though, they take some time off the clock and should be able to pin Terry Fox deep here with a good kick.
Yeah, which it is.
It's a deep one. Takes a bounce and bounces straight up. Look out. And that one actually hit Valerio. And that's where it will be downed right there at the 16-yard line. And Terry Fox will have 62 seconds to try and manufacture a scoring drive here to try and tie the football game.
Again, another tough decision for Martin McDonald here as to what to do in this situation.
How aggressive do you get?
Exactly. And, with the inexperience of their passing game, I wouldn't be surprised if Terry Fox just kind of grounded out right now and, went into halftime down 14-7.
Well, I know you can't do it, Jay Prepchuk, but for me, if you just hand this ball off 3 times to Cade Cote, you're going to get a first down.
You're going to get a first down.
You may wear down Cade Cote throughout the game if you continue to do that. But if you want to move the ball, I'm giving it to number 10 3 times in a row and let him go to work. There's one, and
it just looked like
STM was ready for that. And after a couple of big runs from Cote, STM has really found the potion here in this second quarter and stopping the Terry Fox ground attack.
Yeah, very disciplined by the St. Thomas More Knights. All their linebackers are doing a great job of just filling their gaps and reading those plays.
They go quickly, and they got a completion. And Gang tackled, but not until close to a 20-yard gain here for Terry Fox as they stop the clock with 33 seconds as they'll spot it down. And the clock will begin again. Terry Fox does have 2 timeouts. Chain Gang really slow to react here. And a little sleep at the wheel for the Volunteers down there, and I think Terry Fox just decided to call timeout anyway. They had 2 in the bank, and I think that's the right call with 33 seconds. Got to use a timeout here. Don't want to waste any more time waiting for the Chain Gang to get into position.
Well, exactly, and the Chain Gang was very slow getting into position, and the referee really doesn't blow the clock doesn't start until the referee blows it in once the Chain Gang is set up. The Chain Gang was very late in getting set up there, so Fox could have very easily called a play from the line of scrimmage there, but let's see if they come back here now and maybe one of their screen plays. They had a successful screen earlier in the game to Cote. Let's see if they set up that screen play with St. Thomas More probably playing a little bit more conservatively on defense and backing off a little bit, not allowing the deep pass with only 33 seconds left.
I don't know what the arm strength is for Matty Lou. I haven't seen him.
He can throw it. He's got a good arm.
All right, well, let's see here. If I'm Terry Fox, this might be the down. I take a shot downfield. And Hendrickson will go deep over the middle and just out of the reach as he looked for Kyle Hewish on the streak, but put it about 3 yards too far, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10. That play took 5 seconds. Any scores coming in on the old smartphone there, Jay?
No, we're waiting for scores to come in here, folks. Come on. I know a lot of you folks have our tags, so send us some of the those reports here. There's phones lighting up a little bit here. Let's see if we can check those scores maybe at halftime.
Here we go with Matty Hugh. They set up the screen. Cote got real estate in front, looking for some blocks along the way. Now he's going to cut it back across the field. Here's Cade Cote. Look out. Cote with 15 seconds to go in the half. Will move it back inside. Probably should have found the boundary there, as he'll be taken down with 9 seconds to go. They do have a timeout in the bank, does Terry Fox.
They should kill here. They should just kill. They should just take the snap. Oh, let's see what our head referee's called. They should just get under center. Well,
Cote down on a knee here.
Mysterious injury, of course.
Oh,
and
the old cramp late in the half, yes.
Except for you don't want to have your best player cramping up at this time, right?
If a guy's going to go down, you don't want it to be number 10.
What
a run from Cade Cote. That was probably, a 40-yard play, but he probably ran closer to 65, 70 yards with the amount of real estate he covered.
Yeah, exactly. But you were right there, Jake. He probably should have should have run out of bounds there and
saved a few seconds, save a timeout.
Right there, right? So let's see if
down, but they got 9 seconds here. There's going to be a personal foul call
this is huge.
On STM, which is going to move the ball 15 yards closer to the end zone.
Boy, that's a critical.
It sure is. Terry Fox in business now. As that ball gets moved down to the 10-yard line here, and it'll be first and goal from the 10. 9 seconds to go. Got time for what here, Jay?
Probably two plays.
2 plays max.
Yeah, definitely.
And one will come without Cote, as he has to come out of the game for at least one play.
But they do have a timeout as well. So they can throw the ball on an inside slant, or they can throw the ball.
I don't know if you want to try running the ball in this situation. But I think the playbook pretty wide open here for Coach McDonald.
Like you said, though, you talked to Coach McDonald about the kicking game, and that might come down to a field goal in this situation.
It's an option read. It's a rollout for Hendrickson. He's looking. He'll be scrambled out of the pocket, trying to buy some time, get out of bounds. He will with 1 second to go.
Yeah. So we will see if they now do attempt a field goal. It's going to be about a 27-yard field goal, 25-yard field goal.
We saw
if
Dawson
they are going to attempt a field goal here. Let's see if they I thought he had the leg to get. Watching the field goal, watching him kick off. Here comes the field goal team.
Yeah,
so
he will line it up here, and let's see where this kick will come from. And it'll be a half-ending kick for Dawson Hodge. Yes, they'll spot the ball down here on the
25-yard field goal. Let's see.
25-yarder from the right hash mark here. 22 Hodge lines it up. Hewish the holder, and what do we got? De Lazari wants to try and ice the kicker.
Yeah, good call.
Timeout, STM.
So Coach McDonald will come in and just gather his troops right now and make sure that they are sound on this particular field goal, making sure the inside linemen narrow their splits, cross their feet over, and the inside don't allow any gaps for the St. Thomas More Knights to kind of squeeze through here. So let's see again. We talked about kicking game, right? And when you get into games that
you look at the championship game last year, Jay Prepchuk.
Right.
3 missed field goals for Terry Fox in that final game against the Hayaks, and that's really the difference in that football game. 3 missed field goals. You make one of those, you win the game.
Exactly.
So let's see here. They have faith in Hodge. He'll line it up from 25.
Yeah, he definitely has the leg.
This will end the first half, barring a penalty. Hewish, the holder. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is no good. And this is a live football. Simone on the return is going to go nowhere, but a special teams play. Kick never really got up. And it was knocked down in a hurry, and that will take us to halftime. STM, the Knights lead the Ravens of Terry Fox 14-7. 13 minutes up on the scoreboard. We'll take a break here on Sports Canada TV for the BC High School Football Game of the Week and be back with second half action in a mere 13 minutes. Stick around. Friday Night Lights continues in 13.
I need to get two of these ones too. You know, I would use USB for the phone. Like, do you have a device that does the cell phone calls? No. So you're gonna use USB. I'm gonna throw a program on my laptop probably. I'll send you exactly what you guys figure out too. Service.
just
score, anybody?
just watch. I'll get that, but just watch the.
Oh yeah, my
Yeah,
Okay.
just
You got a tape?
Oh, he's okay. All right, football fans, welcome back here to the Burnaby Lake Sports Complex in beautiful Burnaby, British Columbia. Jack Elliott, Jay Prepchuk with you, the old quarterback coach, with me here for the BC High School football game of the week here tonight. And a good one as we expected, Jay Prepchuk. Fox gets out to the quick 7-0 lead with the big return and then the 50-yard run from Cote. But since that point, STM really kind of took the football game over. Have manufactured 2 touchdowns here. They lead by 7 with a half a football game to go. 14-7 your score. Knights in front of the Ravens.
Yeah, it's swarming defense of the St. Thomas More Knights have done a really good job of containing the Terry Fox powerful offense, and Dario Ciccone showing us why he was an all-star last year and why he is, one of the stars of this football team for the St. Thomas More Knights, putting up 14 points against the Terry Fox Raven defense.
We want to get a CFL score in here for you, but our timekeeper operator to our right doesn't want to hear the score, so you may want to plug your ears. He's not really listening to me anyway. As the Ravens will tee it up and kick it off here. Hodge will step into it and drive it deep. Simone back to receive, takes it up to 5. Trying to find a gap to scamper through, but gets closed up pretty quickly and dropped at the 20-yard line. Lions lead the Eskimos 31-22. Jay Prepchuk with 5 minutes to go, third quarter, in a win and you're in football game from BC Place.
Right, exciting. I know that folks are watching this game because it's more exciting than the BC Lions game, but maybe you have your TV on and you have your computer on at the same time, double screening it, and
throw it on TSN 1040.
And
you can
join you listen to the Moj and
pick your
Julio
poison.
get their.
No, they're listening to us. You watch that.
Yeah.
Listen to us.
I got you.
Red Blacks over the Tiger Cats. That's a big game in the Eastern.
They came back to win that game because Hamilton was winning that game.
35-31, the final in that. And still awaiting your scores from around the province of BC High School football. Make sure you get at us at PXP for Sports or at Jay Prepchuk via Twitter. And let us know how your team did here on a Friday in BC High School football. As Ciccone taken down with authority. Mike Evans on the scene. Ripped him down from behind for a big loss.
Yeah, Ciccone starting the second half with the jet sweep action, faking the jet sweep to Parsons, a successful play that they've run during the first half. And again, reading that linebacker getting across with that jet sweep action and looking for the slant on that particular play. But Ciccone did not like what he saw and pulled the ball down. And again, we talked about the fact that Dario is not going to force the ball in there, and definitely in this case takes the sack, and Michael Evans doing a great job from his defensive end position for the Ravens.
Sometimes just better to eat it than to try and force something downfield and end up with a turnover. STM fans in behind the Ravens bench getting boisterous. It looked like a jump off side. Ravens think it's a false start, and I believe they're going to get the call here. STM going to go backwards. Far be it from me to mention a baseball score in a football broadcast, but it is playoff time.
Yes, absolutely.
So the Brew Crew up big on the Dodgers in the top of the ninth inning. Trying to close out the Dodgers. 7-2 your score from Milwaukee. As my Red Sox punch their ticket back to the World Series, Jay Prepchuk a night ago with a win over the Astros.
Absolutely, and like a lot of fans, it's playoff time in baseball.
Yeah.
The time that you get, what a great time of for action
all
in sports. Yeah,
Raptors over the Celtics earlier tonight. A big basketball game in the association. And it's that great time of year, October, late October, where you got all 4 majors going at the same time. Hockey, basketball, football, and baseball all being played at the same time. October, April. Those are your 2 best months in the sporting world.
Exactly. And, it is exciting because right now that with the CFL, you never know. There's so many, I think Lowell Aldrich mentioned today that there's about 65 different combinations of playoff action for
with
CFL
the crossover,
teams. Exactly. So
well, it's going to be interesting.
Exciting time.
And much like BC High School football, I think this year in the CFL really kind of wide open too. And almost jumping that route like we talked about earlier, trying to get a hand on knocking down that flanker screen there to Simone, but just missing. The catch made a limited gain. as Severy made the tackle.
Terry Fox making an adjustment on defense now. Earlier in the ball game against that empty set shown by the Knights, they would play man-to-man defense, a kind of a cover zero where the safety came over and covered the number 3 receiver, and the other defensive backs played man-to-man. Now they're coming back to just a more of a conservative zone defense, and they're just saying that they are going to, have the Knights play very patient on offense and kind of pick away and not give up the big play.
Ball is on the 10-yard line. Got to get to the 30 for a first down. It's a 3rd and 20 here for STM, backed up in their own zone. Dangerous play call or play about to happen here. Ciccone looks to his left and fires to his right, and probably smart just to get rid of the football as quickly as he could and avoid another sack, get the punt team out, and play a little field position here with a 7-point lead.
Yeah, well-designed play by the St. Thomas More Knights. Just Dario looking to his left-hand side, coming back to the slot back screen to the right-hand side, but that actually did not fool the veteran Michael Evans as he was right there. So incomplete pass, and probably a good thing for the Knights because that play would not have gone for any yardage at all with Michael Evans doing a good job of playing positional football from his defensive end position.
Well, those 3 guys, Evans, Lathbeg, and Matthew Haywabadej, have really wreaked havoc on that defensive line all night for Terry Fox. Good kick here, end over end. It'll roll, and out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Couldn't do much better with that kick there for Camusi. Sorry, I'm stepping on your cord there, Jim.
That's okay, and usually a team is excited about receiving the kickoff to start the second half. In this particular situation there, St. Thomas More started the second half and they got sacked against them, a couple of penalties, put them back deep in their own end, and now they just couldn't get anything moving. And now the Terry Fox Ravens are actually the ones that do have the momentum, down 14-7 as we start the second half.
Matty Lou will break the huddle here. Cote and Kumarasamy in the backfield here. Severy split wide, and it's Kumarasamy busting through. And big tackle there. That one saved a touchdown, no doubt about it. Vasco Rapoli wrapped up Kumarasamy. Otherwise, he was gone to the house.
And you can see Coach McDonald just coming back to the start of the game, right? That was the very first play that he ran to start this football game, that ran for the long touchdown run. So let's see if Terry Fox Ravens have made a few adjustments coming back to that same play.
They go quickly. It's Cote this time. Sidesteps a man and falls ahead for close to 5. As they pick up the tempo here a little bit to start the third quarter, Jay. As got a man down on a knee. That's Brendan Jung who is down.
He looks
gets
like
back up quickly.
Yeah, just an equipment issue. And
kind of an odd number to be playing in the backfield wearing 54, but obviously deemed eligible. And so many of these guys, really, when it comes down to the fourth quarter, especially the back half of the fourth quarter, these guys playing both sides of the football all night long. Fitness really becomes an issue.
Well,
late in
especially
these
for
football games.
absolutely, especially for the big men up front.
Out of the shotgun. Cote one more time, running right this time. The jersey tackle isn't going to work against that big body. And he's close to first down as they try and push the pile for a couple of more. And he will, in fact, move the chains here for Terry Fox.
And again, Terry Fox coming back to their traditional, just kind of grinded out football. You can tell that, again, with the experience of Coach McDonald, Coach Kadaba, Coach Sampson, their offensive coaches had a good talk during the intermission and made some adjustments, and it looks like they had a little talk with their players and made some, again, some positive adjustments and are on the move.
Clock running here. We're approaching 8 minutes to go in this third quarter. It's Kumarasamy on the ground attack once again, and the Knights swarm to the ball carrier and limit that gain to about 3. Is Howard tomorrow, man. Check him out. Don't forget varsityletters.ca, the best website for all your high school sports needs. Nobody does it better than my man Howie Samura, but he's letting me know you were at this game earlier today, a good one. Mount Doug.
Yeah.
Edging Carson Graham 32-27, the final there.
Excellent.
You can check out the recap at varsityletters.ca.
There you go. And, two excellent quarterbacks, Gideon Kremler from Mount Doug and Charlie McMillan. Again, 2 quarterbacks that are grade 12 quarterbacks that, have more football in them after their high school careers. And it was just a pleasure to watch. A great day for football. Carson Graham does a nice job of hosting hosting that game. And
yeah,
you know what?
out
It was
there
just
for,
back and forth.
for the Buchanan Bowl a couple of weeks ago, and what an atmosphere it was out there for the Buchanan Bowl.
Yeah, the Buchanan Bowl is always such a highlight. It's one of the main sporting events, certainly on the North Shore. And I know that, I got a chance to get to that game. We got in off the plane from, I believe, Alberta, Edmonton that morning and right to that game, and got a chance to see a very entertaining game. But the atmosphere, the fans, really putting a lot of energy into that game that really makes it a very, very special event. I know the players, coaching for many years, of course, at Handsworth, I know the players really look forward to the Buchanan Bowl, and it's one of their highlights of their careers.
Brendan Jung, the injured Raven, jogs off the field under his own power, looks to be okay. After a 3-yard gain, it brings up a 2nd and 7. Howard Samara, by the way, will have the play-by-play call tomorrow, I believe, for that UBC Alberta? Who are you playing tomorrow?
UBC Alberta, yep.
Okay. That's a 1 o'clock kickoff from T-Bird Stadium. Look out. Here's a lateral. This is to Cote. He'll slice it back inside and moves ahead for a couple of more. And we'll bring up a 3rd down and manageable here for Terry Fox on the move in this 3rd quarter, trying to tie up this football game.
Just a little swing pass out to Cote and get.
You got to be sure-handed there, because if he drops that one, it's a live football. As that was a lateral pass there from Hendrickson.
Absolutely, and Cote shows his talent by doing a good job of cutting back to the inside. And you can see the defense of St. Thomas More. They're very physical and really swarm to the football. So cutting it back in was a smart play on Cote's part.
It's a 3rd and 1.
Even though there's lots of football left in this football game, this is a big series here for the Terry Fox Ravens, and
STM wants timeout before this 3rd down play.
Right,
as they burn one here mid-3rd quarter, and you wonder if that's going to come back to cost him in a tight football game here later in the 4th quarter. You may need that timeout back, but I guess this 3rd down and 1 a little more important right now for STM, as they want to make sure they got the right personnel and the right defensive call out there to try and force a 4th down here on Terry Fox.
Yeah, exactly. They've got their game plan set up, so they know that when Terry Fox comes out in a certain formation, they're going to run a certain type of defense. If they run another formation, they're going to make some adjustments, right? So good job by the defense just to make sure that the players know their responsibilities, as this is a big play coming up with 3rd and 1.
Well, these two teams could very well be in the mix later next month at BC Place. 5-1 STM, 6-1 Terry Fox squaring off here. It's a touchdown separating the two teams. This is a 3rd and 1 to Cote. And strung out here by STM, but not before Cote picks up the necessary yard, it looks like. Let's check the spot.
Going to be another close one here. Let's see what Lee coming in, the head referee coming in, and looks like they're going to take a good long look at this and possibly a measurement.
Will the chains come in?
Yep.
No, they're going to say short here, and it's going to be 4th down.
Surprising.
So that timeout paying off here for STM, and going to force a 4th down and inches to go here for Terry Fox. What do you do, Coach Jay Prepchuk? Line it up, a little quarterback sneak here, maybe get up under center.
Yeah, no, I think they're just going to pound away with Cote. They're going to give it to their guy, probably over the left side, right over Huey Battage.
Kumar Sari, he'll give it to Cote. He's got the 1st down, and he's got a touchdown. Right up the gut for Cade Cote. And it's a 1-point football game now, 14-13 with an extra point to come.
Yeah, no surprise there. Just run over your offensive left side of that line. And again, with Matthew Hua Battage at 6'7", 325 pounds, boy, I would do the same thing, especially when you have a power back like Cote, who himself is over 200 pounds. Yeah. And, that's just difficult to stop, no matter how many people
bread and butter right there, Jay Prepchuk.
Exactly. Nothing fancy. And you know what? Just don't fool yourself. Don't try to get too fancy.
Don't overthink it.
Exactly. Don't overthink it, and just run the plays that are going to be successful behind your big horses there, right? And why not run behind that big left tackle, one of the finest offensive linemen, if not the best offensive lineman in high school football right now.
Indeed. Extra point is good.
And, speaking of Matthew, and speaking of scholarships, and I know that many high school football players out there that are listening are, kind of wondering, how do I get a scholarship? Well, how do I go about?
Well, first thing you do is go to the J. Prepchuck quarterback camp.
Well, I tell you that hopefully can help you, but I tell you, you know what? You've got to be assertive. You've got to be, you got to get onto some of the websites at universities. I know that
be
UBC.
Proactive.
Be proactive. At UBC, we have a recruiting page that you get in and fill out. You can post some film. Make sure that you're getting good film of your football games. Making sure you're getting good advice. Making sure that you're taking the proper courses.
Yeah, you got to be a good player, but you also have to be a good person. You got to be a good student.
Exactly. Well, that's the key right there, Jake, is that academics are so important. I know that many
I wish I would have
tough.
learned that lesson back in my day, Jay. I just never got the memo.
It's tough.
Never got it.
It's never
and that's
too
why
late.
I'm up here in the booth. I guess so.
Never too late. But, hey, you young football players out there, academics come first.
Absolutely. Deep kick coming here from Hodge, and it's a good one all the way down to the 5-yard line. And return on here for Parsons. Gets his direction re-established down to the sideline and steps out of bounds before contact. There's pretty good coverage downfield that time by Terry Fox to limit the return.
Yeah, and again, good to see some great kicking here. And
absolutely, both these guys got a leg on them, no question about it.
And as we said, this because of the parity in high school football now, you never know when it's going to just come down to the kicking game as far as championship games and playoff games.
What do you think, Jay? I mean, we've talked a lot about STM and Terry Fox here tonight. Of course, Terry Fox has been in the Subway Bowl the last 2 years, winning 2 years ago, coming up just short against those Hayaks last year. Hayaks losers of their last couple, but they're in some injury trouble, and I think once Phillip gets back in, the Hayaks are going to be fine, heading into playoffs. They're going to be reckoned with. Lord Tweedsmuir obviously is going to be a factor. Mount Doug, I think, is in the conversation. I mean, this playoff on the horizon here this year for BC high school football, I think, is going to be the best we've seen in, the last decade.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And, one interesting scenario that does come up is the fact that, the BC Lions score is important, because if the BC Lions come second and host a playoff game, that has implications for
changes the venue.
BC high school, right? And playing outside in mid-November, we know what.
It'll probably be warmer than it is when you're playing inside BC place.
That's true, but it will be drier though. That's for sure, because the roof will be closed.
Yeah, no question about it. But of course, we want to see our BC Lions do well, regardless. And there is a sack by Terry Fox. As they get home, it's Hewa Badesh into the backfield to wrap up Saccone.
And Saccone looking again for the quick slant, and he had Simone initially, but again, he just did not want to force the football in there. And, Dario's patience in that particular case led to the sack, because he definitely had Simone open on the slant. After getting the snap, he could have hit him real quick on that, quick slant. With the quickness of Simone, he could have really done some damage against that Terry Fox defense.
Still waiting for your school scores to come in. Give us an update.
Langley, big AA victory over GW Graham. Congratulations to Langley Secondary for a big win today.
Under 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter in our game of the week. Here comes pressure on Saccone again. He's got all sorts of rim up the gut. Still Saccone going as he spins out of a tackle, still on his feet. And gets his way out close to the 50 before being stacked up. Do we have a flag back there? I don't think it is. I think it's just a towel that's come out. And that run is going to be a successful one for STM. A huge run there from Dario Saccone.
Wow, 41 yards on a 3rd down and 15. And, when you look at the end of a football game, you say there's 3 or 4 football plays in a game that are the real crucial plays. And certainly that is one that you would have to highlight. And we'll remember Dario Saccone taking off for 41 yards, getting out of a deep hole from the Knights. So, again, excellent job by the veteran Saccone, picking up a big first down for the Knights.
Rips off a 41-yard jaunt downfield on a 3rd and 15. We'll give him a 1st and 10 from the 45. Fox sideline getting fired up here As Ciccone takes the shotgun snap. Looks to this near sideline. He's got Parsons on a diving catch. Official says that's a 5-yard gain on a completion.
Boy, did he ever thread the needle on that particular play. And once that ball was caught by Parsons, you look on the defensive side, and there's Cote and Savory, two of the best football players in the province that are standing right there. He threaded the needle right between those two great football players. So,
Takes some confidence to throw that out with that kind of smoke on it.
Absolutely.
And
good for
how
Dario.
about the hands from Ricky Parsons to go down and get that football as well and secure the catch, getting his hands underneath that ball before going to the turf.
Great catch by Parsons.
Ball to the 45-yard line here at Terry Fox. 2nd and 5. Trip receivers to the high wide side. From the right hash, Ciccone will look out to that side. Completion made. And a flag comes in very late at the end of that play in the Terry Fox secondary. And maybe illegal contact there, Jay.
Yeah,
it's kind of a strange place for that flag to fly on a play like that.
That's right. It definitely is going to be a call that's right at the point of the catch. It could be a holding call, or they could call the fact that it was maybe some pass interference because the ball looked like the ball may have been caught behind the line of scrimmage or ahead of the line of scrimmage.
No flag?
Oh, he's taking the flag away there. He's
so I think that was a case maybe where it was inside the 5-yard zone. You're allowed to make contact there. And the head umpire, Lee Bryan, overruling his back judge there, saying no flag.
Good job by the referees there, because he saw the back judge saw some blocking going on downfield as the ball was caught. The side judge is going to signal that the ball was caught behind the line of scrimmage. So okay for the receivers to block as long as the ball is caught behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 3. Ciccone on the rollout. Kumasari trying to run him down. Siccone's got the first. Oh, a vicious block there. And Kumasami is seeing stars after that block.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to come out of this football game as he is woozy, and you don't like seeing that.
Yeah, Kumasami and Kate Cote actually ran into each other there on that particular play.
And those are ones where you're not expecting it to come, and that's when you can get your cage rattled.
Yeah, especially from your own player there. When you run into Kate Cote, you're going to feel it.
And that was a little scary to watch there from Liam Kumarsamy as he gets up and looks to have his bearings about him, but the way he reacted after taking that pop from Cote, you might want to err on the side of caution here and sit the young fellow down for a series or two, or even maybe the rest of the contest.
Yeah, they're checking him out on the sidelines, and concussion protocol certainly will.
I mean, he's one of your best players, and you want him in there in a tie game, but player's health has to come first, and that was a scary hit by his own teammate, and an inadvertent one, and those can be some of the worst ones. It's a 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. And it's a Coney tip ball. And then a late flag comes in for a late hit on the quarterback. As Laith Beg really pile drove Ciccone into the turf after releasing the football. And that's one of those hits, particularly in the NFL.
We've seen enough of them.
They're trying to get that out of the game with the lineman falling on the quarterback with his full weight as Kumarsamy comes right back into the football game here, Jay.
Yeah,
I don't like to see that. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think he should be back in this football game that quickly, if at all.
Right. Well, I know that the Terry Fox Ravens are experienced coaches. They have an experienced training staff, so I'm sure they went through the concussion protocol, and quick as it may be, and wanted to get Liam back into this football game. So roughing the passer, yes, definitely. And I tell you, I am very impressed with, obviously Hugh Abadage from his defensive tackle position, but Begg from his nose guard position, 280 pounds. He is very, very quick for.
Let's not throw the guy to 260. They got him listed here, Jay, not 280.
Mine says 280. So, anyways,
let's split the difference and go 270. Then.
Okay. Well, he's a big boy and he's quick for whatever weight he's at.
1st and 10. It should no. They're going to say 2nd and 10. Not sure how that works after a roughing the passer call, but a ball deflected. It's intercepted, and back the other way we're going to go. And out to the 45-yard line. Check at the 40. Off the turnover there, Terry Fox. That might be our first interception of the game there, as it comes late in this third quarter as Terry Fox gets the football back.
Certainly a big play, and Darius Ciccone trying to hit his inside receiver on a little seam route right there. But
just the second interception of the season here for Ciccone, and it came off a tip ball.
Yeah, that's very impressive. But the Terry Fox Ravens, one of the adjustments that they made at halftime was to have the outside linebackers bump those inside receivers. So you never want to, especially when they're starting to play this cover 3 defense where you have one middle safety, and you do not want to let those inside receivers run free up the seam. And so what Dario tried to do was hit that inside seam route to the slot back, but the outside linebacker for the Terry Fox Ravens did a great job of tying him up. Tip ball. Nice job by the cornerback to make a big interception for the Terry Fox Ravens.
So after tying the game on their previous drive, we'll look to go back to work, and it's Kumara Sami busting free to the 40, 35-30, one man to beat in person to get him out of bounds. Down at the 26-yard line. Good rip there from Liam Kumara Sami.
Yeah, just continue to pound, and again, the halftime adjustments that Tom Kadaba and Martin McDonald and Coach Sampson made at halftime really have been paying off.
Fox trying to get the sideline straight away as they go quickly. Kumara Sami once again, another good hole to run through, picks up close to 6, maybe 7. As the Ravens, that's one thing they've done here in the second half so far, Jay Prepchuk, has really brought the up-tempo offense. Not spending a lot of time in the huddle, getting to the line of scrimmage quickly, and then snapping the ball right away as well. Yeah, they've really done a good job, kind of taking a little page out of the New Westminster Hayak playbook of getting up on the line of scrimmage. I don't know if the Fox fans are going to like hearing that, Jay Prepchuk. Right. Still some sour taste in their mouth, I'm sure. Cote on the carry, following blockers. Cote, a first down and more. And the Ravens knocking on the door once again here, as they have really stepped up their game, especially offensively in this third quarter. One thing you're going to notice about Cade Cote as a running back, he's a very patient runner. He just waits, sees that seam open up and just runs through. Again, nice job. A second timeout in a row now that the St. Thomas More Knights have had to burn by having a chat and talking to their defenses. Their second timeout of the second half here, and we are still in the third quarter. Now just one left in the bank here for the Knights. Exactly. So, but I mean, the Fox Ravens are forcing STM to call those timeouts with that up-tempo offense, putting them on their heels and wearing them down with that ground attack since the opening quarter. Exactly, and that's exactly what Coach Delazari mentioned to me during the week. He said that he knows that power run game is going to be the strength of the Terry Fox Ravens, and Kumar Sami and Cote and even Schuen earlier in the ball game. Very, very effective, very, very powerful running backs, that patient runners that are just waiting for those seams to open up. So exactly what Coach Delazari was afraid of with that power running game from the Ravens. First and goal from the 7. Kumar Sami on the carry. Looked like a face mask in the hole there as they push the pile towards the goal line. No signal yet, and I think they're going to mark him down just short.
I think he has just come up short of the goal line there for the Ravens.
Again, a good surge from those big boys up front there from the Ravens to kind of move that pile back towards the goal line, and Miss Army keeping the legs going as well, pushes it right down to about the 1.5 yard line. Yeah, just look for them to come right back and run over left tackle on a quick count here. They set Cote. Matty Liu takes the snap. Cote on the counter. He's got the seam, and he's got the touchdown. I don't know how you stop that if you're STM. Well, you know what? Excellent job by Cote. As again, we mentioned earlier that Cote is a very, very patient runner. So he attacked the hole just right between the guard and the tackle on that particular play. St. Thomas More Knights did a good job of plugging that hole up, and Cote showed his athleticism by bouncing that to the outside. So again, St. Thomas More made the adjustment. They plugged up the hole that they were running through earlier, and he just did an excellent job of getting to the outside. And a nice job again by Cote showing his patience and bouncing that football to the outside for a touchdown. Extra point attempt from Hodge, and I don't know. Maybe close. They'll say it's good, and from our angle, it was A little sketchy, but it's through.
Yeah, I think if it was in the NFL or the CFL with the longer converts now, that might have been a miss there, right?
It is 21-14 Terry Fox now. As remember, they got out to the 7-0 lead before STM answered back with 2 touchdowns of their own. And now Terry Fox has turned the trick on STM with 2 majors of their own straight here to put them back in front by 7.
Yeah, and let's see if, again, the way that Terry Fox started the second half with a deep kick by Hodge, pinning the St. Thomas More Knights down inside their own 20-yard line to start their couple of drives in this third quarter, have been very, very crucial plays for the Terry Fox Ravens to pin the Knights deep. So let's see if the Knights can generate a little bit more of a return and try to get the ball up close to midfield. They had success earlier in the game with their returns to their left-hand side. Let's see if they can get that wall set up to their left-hand side.
It's Valerio and Parsons, the deep backs here to receive this kick from Hodge. Head of steam, and he'll pop a high one up here. He'll let it bounce, then takes the handle. Here's Parsons up the far sideline. And wrapped up pretty quickly. But decent field position out past the 30-yard line at the 31 here for the Knights to start this drive with 1:20 to go in this third quarter. You got any score updates coming in yet, Jim?
No, I'm trying to get into them, and I don't see any reports coming in. So we just have the Mount Doug victory over Carson Graham, Notre Dame over Handsworth. We've got Langley with a big AA victory over the GW Graham Grizzlies today. So keep those scores. John Barsby in AA action defeated Argyle today.
Okay. And Lions up now 39-22 as I want to whisper, not to tee off our timekeeper here that's got the game recorded. And first down play will get a couple.
Nice to see both teams coming back to their initial game plans. These coaches, you have to really commend the high school coaches. Most of these coaches, of course, have full-time jobs. Many of them are teachers. They put in countless hours of watching film, of scouting games over and over again, developing game plans that they feel are going to work. And Terry Fox Ravens are following their game plan to a T, scoring 3 touchdowns with their power game. And the jet sweep has been a very effective play by St. Thomas More. I'm glad that they've come back to plays that they have game planned for.
2nd and 7 here for the Knights. Empty backfield, Ciccone to throw. Steps up in the pocket, now he looks to run. Runs into a pack of Ravens, or a flock, if you will, Jay Prepchuk.
Exactly, nice.
And wrapped up short of the first down. It'll be about 5 to go on third down, but I think that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter here. So, 36 down and 12 to go here from Burnaby Lake, and it's a touchdown lead for Terry Fox. As fourth quarter action on the horizon here for the BC High School Football Game of the Week.
We talk about
SportsCanada.TV.
Exactly. Yeah, sorry to interrupt, Jake, but we talk about the the coaches, of course, that put in so much time, but the players as well. You have to commend these players these days on I'm getting some action up here. Lots of people in this crowd.
They're taking pictures, Jay Prepchuk. You never met a camera you didn't like. I know that.
And, a lot of these athletes that, you've got to really commend these athletes for all their dedication. Football sports these days, especially at the high school level, have changed now that, it's really a 12-month job. These guys are not just playing football from mid-August through to the end of November, but they're also weight training. They're working hard, playing other sports. I mean, I know as a previous head coach in university and longtime high school coach that, the athletes out there, they should be playing other sports, right?
Yes.
Don't just focus in on one sport. You should, I know that university coaches like the fact that, this player plays football, but he also plays basketball, or he wrestles. He runs track. He does all sorts of different sports. He's very versatile. But the thing with these young athletes is not only the fact that, they're working hard and practicing pretty well every day after school, plus the film time, is the stressing the academics. They've got to, you're tired, you come home, you have dinner, and now you've got to hit the books, right? And these days, it's very difficult to get into university and get the grades for university admission, but a lot of these players are able to do it, and I really commend these athletes and the coaches for all of their hard work. Look for the quick hit screen here.
Here, Jay Prepchak. Fourth quarter action set to go. Ciccone on a 3rd and 4 makes the completion and a first down for the Knights. A big catch and run there from Julian Valerio to get the first down.
Nice to see the Knights getting back to using Valerio, one of their outstanding players who is leading the team in rushing. He hasn't had a lot of rushing yards, but again, as we talked about earlier, running the ball against a tough Terry Fox defense is a real challenge for them in this particular game. So keep with your game plan, jet sweep. You're still in this football game, hitch screens, take a shot once in a while, and run the ball with Darius Ciccone as well.
1st and 10 from the 41-yard line now. There's Valerio across the formation. Ciccone on the quarterback keeper. He'll move ahead for a couple, but those big boys in the interior. And Begg and Bedesian on the tackle. Which I don't see, actually. Oh, yeah, he is out there. I don't know how you miss a 6'7", 320. But he was hiding behind somebody.
He's a big boy in there. Maybe he was hiding behind the 260, 270, 280 defensive tackle that is also a very effective player in there. But good discipline.
I tell you what, I mean, you just look at, college coaches, university coaches must just look at him and just salivate, because you cannot coach or teach
big
6'7", 320. Like
yeah.
You just have it or you don't.
Yeah, and he hasn't missed a snap tonight.
And he's
on,
athletic as can be.
Offense and defense.
Here comes a pass on 2nd and 7. Maybe not. Looking to run now. Dancing around in the backfield. Reverses his play. Ciccone sidesteps a man. First down, knocked down from behind. But how about it from Dario Ciccone, doing it with his legs for the Knights of STM.
Showing his experience. A rollout pass to the right-hand side. Great coverage by the Terry Fox Raven, playing a cover 3 zone defense. Dario reverses field, comes back to the left-hand side. Great job by one of the receivers for the St. Thomas More Knights to not kind of come back and crack back. That's one of the rules that I think is an excellent rule. That's a new rule in the last year or so with the crackback blocks at football at all levels, and they're really watching that those defensive players that are, that aren't really watching for those blocks coming backside, and nice job by the St. Thomas More receiver to not come back and crack back that defensive player.
STM trying to tie this football game up, down 21-14. 2 minutes in to this 4th and final quarter. Ciccone going to run again. Right up the middle. All sorts of room for Dario, and ripped down by Cote, and that is a borderline penalty to be called there from Cote, the way he threw down Ciccone at the end of that tackle.
Looked a little like an Erickson throw down there from Canucks side of things there, but
Matheson, I think.
Yeah, was it Matt? Yeah, exactly.
Peterson.
Yeah, Peterson. Sorry, exactly. So anyway, you've been watching.
I think fans would be happy if Erickson got thrown down like that.
Right.
Get him out of the lineup.
Got to get our names straight. But
don't mess around with Petey though.
Great job with Ciccone, seeing the middle linebackers of the Terry Fox Ravens now are dropping. They're seeing that they've got to get to their pass drops, to getting lots of depth, and very susceptible to the quarterback draw. And when you've got an experienced quarterback like Darius Ciccone in there, and you've got an experienced play caller on that side of the football, you better be careful, and you better have those linebackers spying and making sure that quarterback draw is taken care of.
Terry Fox late to get a man on the field as they get Chris Minson out there in time. This will be a 1st and 10 from the 20. Yeah, I'm not sure why the delay before this snap. But they give the Ravens time to make the substitution. And I think STM asking Lee Bryan why. Empty backfield once again here for Ciccone. They'll look to pass on a 1st and 10. Looks deep into the end zone, into the corner, double coverage. Ball is incomplete. As it was about 2 yards out of the side of the end zone there, just unable to bring it in was Simone.
Yeah, and Dario rolling out to his right-hand side. Didn't like the fact that the two receivers on the underneath breakout routes were covered, so he looked deep to the corner route by the slot back.
That's one of those ones where if Simone is going to be the only guy that's going to catch that ball.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Ciccone put that in the right spot, but he waited for the other receivers to get open. They didn't get open, and that's why the ball was thrown just a little bit late. If it was thrown a little bit earlier, that could have been a touchdown.
9:46 to go as temperature continues to drop here in the fourth quarter. Ciccone surveys, steps up, wants to run, bounces it to the outside, and not much. He's a little indecisive on that run. Did a flag come in late?
It did. It looked like it could be a personal foul, maybe a late hit, maybe a face mask on Terry Fox here. We do have personal foul called against the Terry Fox Ravens. So again, looking at big plays in this game, that would have brought up a 3rd and 10 situation or 3rd and 9 situation.
And a big play can be a big penalty.
Absolutely.
And that was one right there. And yeah, you want to be physical and you want to get to the quarterback, but in a game like this, you got to err on the side of caution, and you just can't do that sort of thing at a juncture of the game like this. As the officials will talk it over and figure out where they want to spot the football.
It gives the St. Thomas More Knights a few extra seconds here to have a discussion with Coach Ciccone and offensive coordinator, just trying to work on their game plan with great field position, and down by 7 at this time. It's a big part of this football game right now.
Automatic first down. It's a 1st and goal from the 10 now. As STM trying to tie up this game here, down 7 to Terry Fox. And I don't know if Ciccone took his helmet off over on the STM sideline.
Yeah,
he's got the bucket back on now, but I'm not sure. There's maybe an issue with his chin strap.
Yeah, the referee's giving him a little bit of time to set this play up, but it is whistled in, 25 seconds, and it's running down, so the St. Thomas More Knights have got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get this ball snapped.
And they had that huddle back about 20 yards from the actual line of scrimmage, so it took a few extra seconds to get up there as well. They got to go quick here.
Watch for those quick slants or Ciccone on the run.
Ciccone taking his time here to snap the football. Really taking his time. That's got to be close to 25. They get the play off. Ciccone steps up, delivers the ball on the sweep. Simone at the goal line, knocked down by Severy to keep him out of the end zone, but STM on a first down pickup close to 9. As they're down to the 1-yard line here and knocking on the door.
Excellent call by the St. Thomas More Knights. Well-designed football play. The two receivers to the left-hand side cleared out, took the Terry Fox Raven defenders with them. Underneath play, Simone coming all the way across the field on an under route. Good patience by Ciccone getting the football and a big gain on first down.
It was a 49-6 victory for Notre Dame over Handsworth earlier tonight right here from Burnaby Lake. It's 21-14 Ravens here. Ciccone and the Knights knocking on the door. Ciccone going to try and do it himself. Runs into a roadblock, but the power will get him in. Touchdown Knights. They're within 1.
Great call by the St. Thomas More Knights. Again, Ciccone on faking the jet sweep and running off tackle. Ciccone doing a good job of showing patience himself as he wanted to run in between the tackle and the guard there. Plugged up by the Terry Fox Raven defense, did a nice job of bouncing that ball to the outside. Great calls by both of these football teams, going with their strength. When you get down into goal line situation, put the ball into your best player's hands. That's what both these teams are doing right now, and very effectively.
And there's another team we haven't really talked a whole lot about. It was the extra point up and good. And man, does Kamusi have a leg on him. And we are tied up at 21. The other team that I haven't really talked about a lot in here tonight is the team that just won previous to this. Notre Dame at 6-0 now, Jay Pripchuk.
That's right, and you look at you look at the coaching staff, you look at the athletes that the Notre Dame Jugglers have, and Cam Ma is one of the most probably, Well, one of the most outstanding defensive players certainly in the province at his middle linebacker position. Another young man that's certainly going to be playing football next year at a university. And you also look at the, the strength of the coaching staff, and Dino Jeremiah, the defensive coordinator, and you've got Dennis Kelly, longtime head coach that's there. George Oswald, longtime coach that is retired, but he's also helping. So they've got so much experience and so much, great coaching coming from those individuals that the Notre Dame Jugglers are. Tiana is running back, is an outstanding. Clark, the quarterback. They've got the tools, certainly, and if they can stay healthy, they're going to be in the mix.
6-0 Notre Dame Jugglers. 21-21 between the Knights and the Ravens. With 8:14 to go. Remember now, the Knights with just one. They go with the onside kick again. Ball is secured. Fox have it, but I think
offside.
That ball did not go 10 yards before being touched either. But I think STM going to get called on an offside. And this is going to be Terry Fox football.
Yeah, all the players on the kicking team have to be behind the football when it's kicked, or it is offside, and that's exactly what happened. And it's such a common mistake to make because the kids are keen. They want to recover that short kickoff. But
Terry Fox looked much more ready for that onside attempt than they did for the first time around. They were waiting for that ball to get to him, and it is an offside call on STM. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, our BC High School football game of the week, Siakam. The Seahawks will take on the Hayaks.
Another good one.
From Mercer Stadium in New Westminster, 7:30 kickoff. And what a fabulous atmosphere it is at Mercer Stadium for Hayak football. Had a chance to do their homecoming game there earlier in the season, and it was a jam-packed Mercer Stadium, and they put on the full meal deal for football games there.
They really have done a fantastic job. Of course, Farhan building that program up and winning the championship last year. Great support. John Tyler is the principal at New Westminster.
And that community in New West really gets behind that.
They've got all the little guys playing football. Ryan Leslie was a big time builder of that football program, and great support, as I said, from the administration, and John Tyler, the principal, and Clint Utley, the defensive coordinator, also strength coach, PE teacher at the school, is also, very much one of the reasons of their success.
They kick deep this time after the offside call. Severy on the return. Lone man back. He's up through the middle, bounces off a tackle, and gets out near the 33-yard line. Decent return there for Severy, and the Fox Ravens will look to answer back here after STM has tied the football game. We got 8:06 to go here in the game of the week.
Yeah, and what a game of the week it really is.
We set it off the top, Jay. These two teams, both with one loss, both their losses coming at the hands of Lower Tweedsmuir. Both tight games. You look at the scores. Terry Fox losing to Tweedsmuir 20-14. STM losing to Tweedsmuir 27-21. Both 6-point losses. So everything lining up to have this exact score that we're looking at, a tie game, 8 minutes to go in this fourth quarter, and either one of these teams can pull out a victory. And it's going to be a big one for the standings leading into playoff time.
Exactly, and both these teams just continuing to follow their game plan. Talking to Coach McDonald during the week, and he had said that they're just going to continue to run their power football game, and that's exactly what St. Thomas More knows that's coming at them. They know that that's what Terry Fox' strength is, and they're very concerned about the power, especially of that offensive line of the Terry Fox Ravens. Where on the other hand, Terry Fox was concerned about their pass coverage, and exploited a little bit tonight by a veteran quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks, certainly one of the most experienced quarterbacks in the province. And again, Ciccone showing why he is such a great football player.
So, STM has just used their third and final timeout of the game with 8 minutes to play. Cote takes the pitch, trying to get the edge. Pretty good defense there from the Knights to wrap up quickly. It was Vasco Rapoli wrapping up Cote for no gain.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they want to do. And Rapoli, coming from his corner position, who is not really respecting the pass in this situation. Cote tries to run off tackle to the right-hand side. Nothing there. Bounces outside, and Rapoli does a great job from his defensive corner position to come up and make the tackle for a loss of 2 yards. Actually, a sack. There's a sack for a defensive back. Good job, Rapoli.
Yeah, I mean, Hendrickson has just not really thrown the football all that much this season, and understandably so. He's a converted wideout, now playing quarterback. And you just, you don't take up the position, just start chucking the ball around the field without a lot of snaps under your belt, and Hendrickson just doesn't have the experience.
Yeah, exactly. Great athlete.
And he's got weapons in the backfield that he can go to alleviate that, and that's a nice luxury to have for Fox, not to be forced into throwing the football because they have such a potent ground attack.
Yeah, but when they get into situations like this on 3rd and long, it really is detrimental to their offensive game plan. So let's see if he runs a little play action, a little bootleg.
Tight formation here. He'll roll out to this near side, looking one-on-one. Down the sideline it goes. And it looked like a catchable football there and just didn't really go after it there, did Kyle Hewish.
Yeah, nice job by Rapoli, and he knows again. He's a veteran player out there, Rapoli, from his corner position for the St. Thomas More Knights.
Yeah, I'm saying though, Jay, that's good coverage from her. But it looked like Hewish could have made a move to the football there and just didn't really go after it.
Yeah, and possibly if he makes that move, maybe there's contact as well, right? So definitely could have made
I'd like to see a little more desire for that catch there from Hewish.
Right.
Well, it will be a kicking situation here on a 4th and 10. As Hodge back to punt this one away, and Simone stands back at his 35-yard. Low snap, look out.
They're coming after it. They're coming after it.
Oh, they overran it. They'll fall on top of it, but trying to pick it up and run to the end zone was number 82. Who is it? It's Daniel Auld down there making the play. Almost had himself a block and a touchdown, but does recover the block kick.
Yeah.
And STM in business. Off the block, punt, low snap for Hodge. Just couldn't get it away.
One of your leaders on defense there. Alt does a good job of recovering that punt. And you know what? That was a well-designed block. I could see the scheme set up by the St. Thomas More Knights. They crossed guys, and they had a free player coming through the A-gap right there. A little bit of a low snap, a little bit of a slower snap. Perfect, well-designed block. That was not a fluke. That was a well-designed block set up for the St. Thomas More Knights at what a crucial time to make that play.
Special teams, you talk about, those 3, 4, 5 plays a football game. Mark that one down, ladies and gentlemen. STM in business here from the 16. Zacconi, shotgun snap, looks, fires a ball out. Simone jukes a man. Simone down to the goal line and forced out of bounds before crossing. But that will be a first down for STM, and a 1st and goal it will be, trying to take the lead here as we approach the halfway mark of the 4th quarter.
Michael Simone just running a simple breakout pass. Zacconi getting the ball in the flat, and receivers out there that are watching, you can see the great job that Michael Simone does of taking that football, tucking it in, and getting upfield, getting lots of yak yards.
Making that first man miss is so crucial out on that wide side.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Hey, just a great play of getting that ball upfield and getting that extra yardage, the yak yards after the catch, setting up a great, setting up a first down for the Knights, deep in the Ravens' territory.
Play went for 11. It's a 1st and goal from the 5.
Watch for Zacconi on the run.
There's the jet sweep, and nothing doing there. Kumarasamy makes the play in the backfield, but a flag in. I just don't know if that name is ever going to roll off my tongue the way it should, Jay Prepcher. It's just not. Some of them are just trickier than others.
I'm sure he doesn't mind if we call him Liam. I know Liam, he's a great kid, that's for sure. But
we've got an illegal shift on STM, and let's see if Terry Fox wants to decline.
Exactly. You know what? This is a very important decision right now for the let's see what they're going to do here. They're having a talk with Lee Bryan. The head official is coming over for a quick discussion with Coach Kadaba.
I would decline it.
Yeah,
I think I do too.
Definitely. It's going to be 2nd and 7. It was a loss of about 3 yards on that particular play. Yeah,
it is decline.
Nice
so
job.
That's what they do.
Because that would have only been a 5-yard penalty, so they really would have been in the same. Yeah, exactly. So let's see what St. Thomas More can come up with this in this crucial position. Remember, they do have that outstanding field goal kicker, right? So, you know, scoring a touchdown is not the end of the world if they can't score a touchdown here. But again, get that ball into Sacconi's hands and see if our quarterback can run with that football.
2nd and 7. There comes Parsons across. He's not going to get it, but he's on the leak out. He's got it, and a walk into the end zone. Excellent play call there from De Lazari, and it's a touchdown for the Knights.
Right. Taking the jet sweep to Parsons, and the Terry Fox Ravens kind of just forgot about him a little bit, and Parsons just kind of snuck out to the right-hand side, and Sacconi was showing great patience, taking a quick peek inside, freezing that Terry Fox defense and getting that ball out there, and a nice touch pass to Parsons for a big touchdown after that block kick.
Well, when he didn't get the handoff on the jet sweep, I thought, well, they're not going to give him the ball, but he just kept the pattern going and then curled upfield, and Sacconi put it right on the numbers. And it was an easy walk into the corner of the end zone to take the lead here, 27-21, with the extra point to come. And what a finish we are in for here is up and good once again for Kamuzi. He is just pounding the football with the leg right now.
Yeah, he really is. So let's see if St. Thomas More has a decision to make right now as well, right? Do they kick the ball deep and allow a return to happen, or are they maybe going to try another one of the short ones, or are they maybe going to squib it to maybe the second row, or are they going to go ahead and kick it deep? Because the Terry Fox Ravens, when they have caught the ball deep, especially earlier in the ball game, they did a nice job of returning the kicks.
We haven't seen Schuin go back. He was the dangerous return man early in the game. Well, we haven't really seen the likes of him in quite some time. He is out on the field right now as one of the up backs. But if I'm STM, I think I go with just a hard, low line drive here, Jay. Maybe try and bounce it off of one of those up linemen and see if you get a friendly bounce.
Yeah,
look at Terry Fox. Maybe you get it by him and just roll the ball down the field.
Right, and you can see the adjustment that the Terry Fox Ravens have made. They've moved 10 of their players
that's what I'm saying.
right
maybe
up.
You just line it up and just pound it as low and as hard as you can and see what happens.
Right. With the 10 men up for the Terry Fox Ravens, that's certainly going to disrupt their kickoff return pattern, right? So I'm sure that St. Thomas More Knights have taken a look at that. Their special teams coordinator is yelling from the sidelines, and I'm sure he's, instructing the Knights to kick the ball deep here, because, again, it's going to be difficult for the Ravens to get an effective return with 10 men up within 10 yards of the
where the kickoffs come.
Where the kickoffs come. Well, really from the live ball line. Let's put it that way.
I got you.
I hope everybody at home understands that too.
Here comes the kick. It's
that's
low.
perfect.
They drop it into
Puts
the
it
dead
right
zone here.
Yeah.
Severi's going to have to play it off a bounce.
Yeah.
He does that well. Spins out of one tackle, still with it, and ridden out of bounds at the Fox sideline at the 40-yard line. So decent field position here for Terry Fox. Down 7 with 5:17 to go. 28-21. STM, and what has just been a classic football game here between two excellent programs.
Yeah, it really has. So right now, there's a couple of factors that are very important in the strategy of the Terry Fox Ravens. A, they don't want to score too early because they don't want to get the ball back to the St. Thomas More Knights. They want to kind of grind it out and make sure that they score with very little time on the clock. But because they are a running team, they do have to keep an eye on that clock, and 5 minutes and 17 seconds is exactly a good time for them.
The 5-minute offense coming here.
Yeah, exactly. 5 minutes and 17 seconds. But
Cote with a good run on first down, picks up close to 10. They'll give him 9, and it'll be 2nd and 1.
And just, hey, they know what they're – I tell you, Martin McDonald is going to be just grinding it out. Left tackle, over right tackle, over left tackle, over right tackle. And let's see if they just continue to pound the ball. Look for them to go over right tackle on this play.
Fox does line up quickly. They snap it quickly as well. Cote picking his spot. He's got the first down. He gets out of bounds, stopping the clock with 4:45 to go. And a fresh set of downs coming here for the Terry Fox Ravens.
Kind of gut check time right now. And again, these players, the coaches are talking to them right now about the fact that, hey, you know what? That's why we work hard. That's why we do all those sprints. That's why you train all summer. That's why you're in the weight room. This is the time when your endurance and your desire really comes through and shows.
Well, that ground attack from Terry Fox all game long starting to pay dividends here in the fourth quarter. It's Kumarasamy on the take now. He's got 6.
So what the Terry Fox Ravens have done right now with their 3 running backs, they've kind of got a fullback that's almost like an extra guard out there, and they play him to either the left side or the right side in that gap between the guard and the tackle, and they usually just run right over him. Now, that particular play, for one of the first times tonight, they ran what we call to the weak side. They set up the fullback left, but they ran to the right side just to keep them honest. And look at St. Thomas More Knights just crowding the line of scrimmage.
Here's Cote. He's got room, look out, turns the corner. Cade Cote up for the far sideline and stepping out of bounds around the 20. Another big run for number 10.
Nice job of Cote bouncing the ball to the outside. The cornerback for the St. Thomas More Knights on the defensive right side lost contain. He went with the inside fake by Cote, and Cote showing his speed, showing his agility by bouncing that football to the outside and picking up a big gain of 24 yards.
4 minutes exactly here to go. Ball is on the 15, and it's a first down and 10 here for Terry Fox from the left hash mark. Single man coverage out on the edges here for Fox, but they're not throwing this ball. As a whistle goes here, and what do we got? Movement up front here, I think, on Fox. And this one's going to go back 5 yards.
Yeah, and again, the St. Thomas More Knights is crowding the line of scrimmage. Defensive linemen up tight, penetrating, trying to penetrate into the gaps. Linebackers up real tight. Safeties up tight. They're just trying to stop that run. They know, as you said, they know exactly what's coming at them, and they just have to stop the power of the Terry Fox running game.
Well, they could almost leave the wideouts uncovered right now because there's no way Terry Fox is even going to think about throwing this football with Cote and Kumarasamy in the backfield. There's a fumble, and I think the Knights have it. Mishandled handoff there from Hendrickson. Falls to the turf, and the Knights pounce on the football.
Boy, talk about crucial plays at crucial times with just under 4 minutes left in this football game. And as you saw the Terry Fox Ravens marching the football down the field, a big turnover, a little bit of a cross-buck action, and Matty Lou trying to fake a handoff to one of the running backs and kind of got caught on his hip, it looked like, and St. Thomas More, with their penetrating and very aggressive swarming defense, was able to pick up that.
First turnover on Fox all night long, and it comes at the worst possible time.
Yeah.
As they hand the ball back to the Knights here, who have the 7-point lead. And now we'll try and run some clock here on the Ravens, who do have all 3 of their timeouts left. And a good surge on first down. Picks up close to 6, it looks like.
And we've been waiting for Valera to get the football on carry, as he is the leading ground gainer for this St. Thomas More Knights, and averaging almost 7 yards a carry this year, and faking the jet sweep, and instead of the quarterback running the football, kind of a little delay off tackle play, giving the ball to the tailback off the jet sweep fake. Good, well executed play by the St. Thomas More Knights.
Clock running. 3:15 to go as they break the huddle.
And you can tell the experienced Saccone knows exactly what he has to do here. Grind, wait, let that clock run all the way down, use up all 25 seconds of the shot clock.
They only gave him 3 on that first down carry, so it's 2nd and 7. Parsons across, they will misdirection. And that's a better run on 2nd down. And it's going to be just shy of the marker. It'll be 3rd and short here. And the play of the game coming up.
Yeah, same play that they just ran, faking that jet sweep, and Valerio going off tackle to the right-hand side. Nice pickup, didn't get the first down, but picked up 4 yards on that play, bringing up the 3rd down. And again, look for a little misdirection play. Look for them to keep the ball on the ground. A little surprised that Terry Fox is not starting to use their timeouts. They have 3 timeouts left, and they are saving them. So let's see what happens here.
It's right here, right now for Terry Fox. If they want a chance to win this football game, they need a stop here on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, look for Saccone to run the football here.
It's Abood in the backfield for the Knights. They look to bring pressure up the middle. Here's the handoff. First down and more. Look out, protect the football now. And will that be it for the Knights as they get out to the 45-yard line?
Well, because Terry Fox still has 3 timeouts left, they still are in this football game, but they certainly have to start using their timeouts very soon here. This.
So 2-minute warning. 28-21. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Knights from the 45 out of the 2-minute warning here.
Nice job by the St. Thomas More Knights, just power running. They kind of took a page right out of the Terry Fox.
We haven't really seen them have the success running the ball up the middle of the field all night long, and when it mattered most, the offensive line for the Knights got off the football and opened up a gap for Aboud to run through for a big game.
Yeah, especially since just a straight-ahead dive. And, you knew Terry Fox was going to blitz their linebackers, which they did on that particular play. So
they ran right at the blitz, and it worked.
They really did. A nice job by, Valerio picking up that yardage. But, again, left side of that offensive line by the St. Thomas More did a great job. Look for the Terry Fox Ravens to call timeout right after this play.
Clock starts to run. Ciccone. A long count as expected. Here's the handoff to Valerio. He'll turn it upfield for a couple, and here's the timeout from Terry Fox.
Jet sweep, but they know they've instructed the jet sweep to run inside, so they know that contain is the defensive ends. Michael Evans doing a good job of containing that jet sweep, of widening out. Whenever he sees that jet sweep motion, he widens out, takes that away, but a nice job of cutting the ball inside and certainly not running out of bounds and stopping the clock. But now, crucial time.
First down here for SDM wins the football game.
Yeah, we still have, we're going to use these timeouts, and I think you might be right, though. If we can, and that's what they're saying to each other in the huddle right now. That's what the coaches are yelling at them. Come on, guys, one more first down, let's go.
Math was never my best subject, Jay Prepchuk, but I think if they get a first down here, they can get into victory formation. So it's a 2nd and 6 from the 49. And they're going to keep it on the ground, just a matter of whether they can execute the play call.
2 timeouts, so still for the Ravens. That's crucial, and they're going to call a timeout as soon as this play is over. So
they'll huddle up. And here we go. Aboud in the backfield. Valerio in the slot. Ciccone in the shotgun. Trying to draw the Ravens offside. Not biting. He's going to throw. He's going to look deep. One-on-one out there with Simone. Makes the catch. Oh, my. What a play call. And what a catch from Simone. And a throw to go along with it from Dario Ciccone.
How about that? I would have never thought that they were going to run play action and throw the ball deep. But actually, Terry Fox did a great job of covering on that football play. And Simone showing his experience and showing why he is such a great receiver and a very, those two guys have been playing catch for many, many years in their lives. And you can tell that they're timing together and how they run their routes and how they work together. You can tell that they are certainly guys that have played football for a long time together. So
what a play call. What a play call. Still 2 timeouts here. Fox not using one here.
Should have called timeout there.
I don't know if it's going to matter now. You keep the ball on the ground here. You're within field goal range and can make it a 2-score game. A handoff to Aboud through the middle. And now they'll call timeout, and they'll have 1 left with 55.9 seconds to go. But what a play call from Coach De Lazzari. And then the throw from Ciccone, and then to finish it off, just a spectacular catch.
Exactly.
From Mike Simone.
Yeah, and you look back at the big plays in this game, and certainly the 2 big plays happened in the 4th quarter with the block punt and set up the winning touchdown, really. And then, of course, the fumble by the Terry Fox Ravens with what was it, just under 4 minutes left when they were.
And the fumble have been the 2 key
the 2
plays.
crucial plays, exactly right.
I mean, we talking about 4. We've probably seen about 6, 7, 8 crucial plays in this game. Think about a couple of big penalty calls that have kept drives alive. couple of turnovers, the block punt on special teams, and then the big catch from Simone to go along with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Has
Boy, what
really
a well-played
kind of
game.
encapsulated this football game here. It's a 2nd and 8. And a little misdirection again. Aboud trying to pull away from a defender. Does. Looking. And down to about the 4 here. And the Ravens will need to use their final timeout.
Yeah, this is their last timeout.
But it's going to be a 3rd and about 1 to go here with 45 seconds to play. Ball game really on the line for Terry Fox now.
Boy, I tell you really have to commend the St. Thomas More Knights for just battling away, and they're playing. One of the outstanding linemen really in the province as well for the St. Thomas More Knights that's unfortunately injured. Sam Steele has been a long-time starter for the St. Thomas More Knights. And
he's probably their best player on their team.
That's right. We've had the pleasure of watching him play from his defensive tackle and nose guard position, and he certainly does create havoc. Hopefully the St. Thomas More Knights will have him back by the time the playoffs come around, and that certainly will make their line a lot stronger, especially their defensive line. Sam Steele, outstanding player.
Absolutely. 3rd and 2 from the 6 here. STM trying to drive in the nail. Zacconi, I'd be surprised if this ball leaves his hands. They will hand it off to Aboud. He'll drive forward. Looks like he's got the first down. And that should do it.
Yeah, let's see when the referee blows the whistle. And if
they don't need to run another play.
No, not yet. Well, if he blows it in now, they do, because they still have 21 seconds. Oh,
are they going to measure?
They have to run a play. 27 seconds left.
Man. Are they going to measure here? Not over yet, ladies and gentlemen. The drama.
Okay, Lee. Yeah, let's see what.
27 seconds to go.
Yeah, and 25 seconds on the huddle clock. So
they are going to bring in the
They do
chains.
have to run this, but again, when you're 98 yards away, yeah.
The back judge, 5 seconds to go, puts his hand in the air.
Big measurement here. Let's see. That's St. Thomas More. First down. First down.
That's the ball game.
That's the ball game, folks. Wow.
Huge first down for STM to put it away against Terry Fox, who will move to 6 and 2, and STM will move to 6 and 1.
Yeah, well, I tell you, keep all your notes, because you know what, we're going to see these teams again.
We sure will.
That's for sure, and it's probably going to be in November. It's probably going to be playoff time, and let's just hope that all these teams stay healthy and are able to, continue to play hard and work hard for their coaches, and keep up that academic there with their academics, and you know what, just
the best game of the week so far this season. An instant classic here between Fox and STM will finish as they're just going to take a delay of game here, as they just wanted to use up the full amount of the clock, because this one's going to finish 28-21 STM. Don't forget our next week's game of the week, Siakam in the Hayaks from Mercer Stadium, a 7:30 kickoff next Friday night, as each week we get closer to playoff time. And should be another good one next week from Mercer between the Seahawks and the Hayaks. But lots of football action going on tomorrow. UBC, SFU in action. Rams and Raiders in action, as a one final knee will run this clock out, and STM win it by a touchdown by a final score of 28-21. What a game. All right, that will wrap things up here for us tonight for the BC High School Football Game of the Week on SportsCanada.TV. Big thanks to our production crew, to Jay Prepchuk. I've been Jake Kelly for the Gridiron and the Pigskin. We'll talk to you next week from Mercer Stadium.
Everybody have a good weekend and drive safely.
Thanks for having me.